Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to Smoky Valley. We have the visiting Cheney Cardinals here to take on your Smoky Valley Vikings. Volleyball here tonight will start at about 5 p.m. We might be a little bit ahead of schedule, just in time to catch our girls in action tonight. Our girls are in the pink uniforms, looking very sharp tonight as they're warming up here right now, getting ready to go against this in a top 10 battle. Currently, the Vikings stand at 14-6, and the Cheney Cardinals at 9-2. Both teams are ranked in 3A. Cheney standing in 6th in the Week 2 rankings. Smoky Valley, they're at 8th. The current standings across the league, Smoky Valley's in 4th in the league for the CKL. Right now, number 1 is Halstead at 18-1. Hillsboro, 13-3. Hoisington in 3rd. They are 13-4. Smoky again coming in 4th in the CKL standings right now as we speak, 14-6. Heston, number 5 at 8-5. Number 6, Pratt at 11-7. Number 7 is Nickerson, 8-9. Lions at number 8, 4-10. Larned at number 9, 2-9. And Haven right now at the bottom of the CKL standings, 1-16 record. The Vikings so far have had a very, very strong strength of schedule. Several state competitors right now. When you look at their schedule, they've had quite the run-in with ranked teams. Heston, they started off the season against Heston 2-0. While they're not ranked, they are always at the top. Obviously, Heston at the number 5 in the league. Some action against Hillsboro. They are 1-1 so far against them. Hillsboro is number 1 in 2A at 11-3. Other state-ranked teams that the Vikings have faced, Beloit, who stands at number 2 in 3A, they're 12-2. The Vikings fell to them in a tough match going 3 as the Vikings fell 1-2. Also, the Vikings started off the season very strong in the second match in the opening tournament against Halstead, who is the number 5 team in 3A, ranked number 5. So they've had some very strong competition. And then as they face Cheney here tonight, who is ranked number 6 in 3A, standing at 9-2. Again, a heavyweight competition here between the two schools, top-ranked teams. They're going to battle it out tonight, and it will be surely a great one. Also on the schedule, we have faced Circle, who is number 2 in 4A, standing at 8-1. The girls dropped that in 3, losing 1-2. So the strength of schedule has definitely been very strong, and it'll serve the Vikings well as they continue as we're about midway through the season, and they'll look to finish this up strong. We have not received sub-state assignments just yet. We're going to continuously wait for that. We're excited to have those come out. Last year, the Vikings hosted their sub-state assignment as they ended up winning it, leading themselves into state. Along with that, the Vikings are 3 straight state tournament appearances, 3 straight for them. Last year, with a record of 32-11, they made an appearance there to state. In 2021, they finished 5th with a record of 41-4, and then in 2020, with a phenomenal run, ended up being the state runner-up at a record of 34-4. So that's 3 straight years the Vikings have gone to the state tournament and competed well. We also have some state leaders for the Vikings. Hope Duncan is 7th in kills with 196 total, and actually have an update on that, which would be a total of 209 kills. Thanks again, Liz Schrog, for doing all the stats. Adrian Hazelwood is 2nd in assists at 442 total. That's 2nd in the state in 3A. She also has, as we have mentioned before, over 2,000 kills in her career. Phenomenal career out of Adrian Hazelwood. And then Katia Blanchett is 5th in blocks with 45. And again, that's 5th in 3A. Awesome to see the success. We're looking to see a really great matchup again tonight against 2 ranked teams in the state. Cheney at number 6, Smoky at number 8. Captains tonight for the Vikings, senior, number 20, Adrian Hazelwood. Also a captain for the Vikings, number 27, Avery Allstedt. Captains for Cheney, I have number 0, Jalen Adolph. She's also the libero. And number 4, Alexis Bittner. She is also the captain for the Cheney Cardinals. We'll get to starting lineups here in a bit. The Vikings are coached by Doug Schneider, assisted by Kelsey Anderson and Nicole Biegert. The Cardinals are coached by Sarah Walkup, assisted by Megan Pipkin and Kara Moorhead. When we look at some of the stats and leaders for the Vikings, they, again, record-wise, they are 14-6. They are 2-1 at home. On the road, they are 3-1. In neutral sites, they are 9-4. Hitting percentage, they are led by Kat Blanchett, as she has a 26% hit rate, and the team has a 22% hit rate. Hope Duncan leads them in kills. As I said, I have an updated stat for her. I'm going to find that. 209 for Duncan as she leads the team in kills. Blanche is also the leader in kill percentage at 40%. In serve attempts, the Vikings are very efficient when it comes to serving, as they have a very high percentage across the board. They have a serve rate at 91%, just right around 92%, and leading that way would be Hope Duncan at 95% in serves. Serve attempts, leader there would be Adrian Hazelwood with 197. Digs, they are led by Katia Blanchett with 130. As a team, they have 701 total digs on the season. Leading the way, as I mentioned, Kat Blanchett is a top five in the state for blocks with 45. She leads the team, obviously, with 45. And then assists, we have mentioned before, Adrian Hazelwood just continuously dominating in the way of assists, setting up her team. She has a total of 442 on the season and 527 as a team. The expected starters tonight, we have number 10, senior Tinley Scott, standing at 5'8". She has a total of 60 kills and 14 aces. Number 12, Brienne Peters, a senior, standing at 5'8". She made sure to correct me on that. Sorry about that, Bree. So again, Bree is another starter with a total of 37 kills and 12 aces. She has been awesome when it comes to the defensive side. She's also stepped in when Avery Allstedt had to step away for an illness. Bree did a tremendous job filling in her spot. It has just been nothing but steady across the board, and is really emerging as a star here for the Vikings, who are not short of star power. Plenty of girls we could talk about tonight, and you'll see some of the stars coming alive in this big heavyweight matchup between the Cheney Cardinals and your Smoky Valley Vikings. Continue with the starting lineup. Adrian Hazelwood, the captain for tonight for the Vikings, a senior, number 20. She stands at 5'8". A junior, number 25, Katia Blanchett, standing at 6 feet tall. She is a middle for the Vikings and has been nothing short of spectacular, as she has 186 kills and a serve rate of 87%, 45 blocks, and 145 digs on the season. She has been tremendous in all aspects. Senior, number 27, Avery Allstedt, 5'8". She's another captain for the Vikings. She has 32 kills on the season, an ace, 92% serve rate, 5 blocks, and 33 digs. Hope Duncan, number 30, a senior outside hitter. She's standing at 5'8". Probably give her 5'9". She has, again, leading the team in kills at 209. 17 aces, looked at the wrong person there, 16 blocks and 160 digs. And then the libero for tonight, the Vikings, sophomore number 33, Keely Friesen, sitting at 5'6". We will be back. I expect it looks like we're going to have the singing the national anthem. So we'll be back here shortly and continue the action here tonight.
By being courteous and respectful to all players and officials, we can assure high school activities are indeed the other half of education. We would now ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and place your hand over your heart as SVHS student Kale Kibler sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And we are back here live at Smoky Valley High School as we are set to begin this top 10 matchup between the visiting Cheney Cardinals and your Smoky Valley Vikings. Again, Cheney at 9-2 on the season. They are ranked number 6. Smoky at 14-6. They're ranked number 8 on the season. I am Jason Driller, and I'll be covering the play-by-play here tonight as we are just about moments away from this big-time matchup. Again, the Vikings are in their pink uniforms tonight. Cheney wearing red tops with blue bottoms. Keely Friesen again here for the Vikings as libero. She is a sophomore, number 33, has been very steady across the board. I remember just last week she was absolutely phenomenal in their matchups against Haven. Just very steady, and although she's kind of one of the younger ones of this varsity group, she has continuously worked very hard to become a steady part of the rotation. And this great leadership out of the Vikings. They are very senior heavy. 5 of the 6 starters right now are seniors. So great leadership for Keely to learn from. And we are set to go. Number 12 for the Cardinals, Peyton McCormick on the serve. Hazelwood will set up. Kat, she'll go for the attack. Unsuccessful. Hazelwood will just tip it over, and it's back. Hazelwood will go ahead and set up Kat Blanchett. She has a nice little tip over the top. Nice save there by number 7, Inslee. And I got the ball there. And the Vikings on the board first. That's a nice little movement there as Hazelwood continuously sets up her teammates. And Hazelwood on the serve. And they're going to go ahead and set up number 4, Bittner. A little bit of miscommunication. Great hustle out of Avery. However, that one's going to go ahead and fall, as we'll tie it up here at 1 apiece. Check it in for the Cardinals, number 15, Savannah Griffin. Back to serve for the Cardinals, Macy Batt. Duncan on the pass over to Hazelwood, perfectly set up. She'll set up Kat. She's a little bit of a mix-up at the net there for the Cardinals. And Blanchett's soft attack over the top, just enough to cause the Cheney defense a little bit of trouble. And that'll give the Vikings the edge. Up 2-1. There's Friesen on the serve. Cardinals will go ahead and unsuccessful on the bump over the net. It'll fall back on their side, and now Vikings lead it 3-1. Keely Friesen on the serve here. She has a great percentage, and that one's just outside. And it'll give the point to the Cardinals. Checking in now for the Cardinals, number 3, Reese Hedstrom. If you want to watch the JV, you can go ahead and do so. They are also on live.smokyvalley.org. Nice save there by libero Adolph. In the net is the call. Vikings with the point. They lead it 4-2. Blanchett here on the serve. She's got a great smile on her face. Kid that's always just very happy and loves the game. Wow, what a serve there. Hit the top of the net. Was a little bit of trickery for the Cardinal defense. Hazelwood with the pass over to Duncan. She'll go for the attack. But Cheney handled it well. Scott on the pass over to Hazelwood, who will set up Duncan, who's just a little long there. It goes out the back. And that'll give the point to the Cardinals. They are down 4-3 here early in the first set. Again, in a top-ranked battle between big heavyweights for 3A. And a nice attack there from Hope Duncan as she puts it down hard. Starting to get a little bit of rhythm to the offense here for the Vikings. Number 12, the senior Bree Peters will serve it over. And a very good serve there, but handled well by number 4, Bittner. And that one's just a little bit too hard for Blanchett to handle. Nice attack there. I believe that was number 3, Reese Hedstrom. As these two heavyweights continue to go back and forth, we've got a 5-4 lead for the Vikings. And this is number 7, Inslee on the serve. And it's long out the back. Great call there. And that'll give the point to the Vikings as they lead it 6-4. And this will be number 30, Hope Duncan on the serve. Well placed, but handled well by number 2, Bat. They're going to set up. Wow, that was nice attack there by Peyton McCormick. Nice kill. A little bit too hot to handle for number 30, Hope Duncan. And again, these two teams going back and forth. You're seeing some great volleyball here early. This will be number 3, Reese Hedstrom on the serve. Handled by Bree Peters. Hazelwood will set up Avery, and it's just a little bit short. Hits the top of the net. Seems like it just didn't hit all of the part of her hand she wanted. Nonetheless, it is tied at 6 apiece. Bat here to serve. Or Hedstrom, excuse me. Handled well by Peters. She's going to set up Scott with a nice tip at the net by number 12, McCormick. They're going to set up number 2, Bat again. A nice little tip over by Hazelwood. And again, a nice tip, but a great save out of Blanchett. However, the second attempt was unsuccessful for the Vikings. Great effort, though, out of number 27, Avery Halstead. That point will go to the Cardinals as they lead it now 7-6. You can kind of feel that momentum there swinging a little bit here for the Cardinals. Great pass there by Duncan. Hazelwood then set up Scott, who is just a nice little touch over the top. And they'll set up number 12, McCormick. Hazelwood finds the donut in the defense. However, a great save there. Hazelwood will set up Allstead, excuse me. Great tip at the net. Blocked there. I believe Allstead got a tip on that. Did not allow that attack to go through for the Cardinals. Tied up at 7. Scott here on the serve. Handled there by Bittner. They're going to set up McCormick. Hazelwood will set up Allstead. She's swinging here early. I love it. A nice block there at the net by Kat Blanchett. She has been playing well early here. They're going to set up Allstead. It's just a little short there. Rhythm just didn't seem to be there entirely. But I love the effort that the girls are showing here early. They're kind of flying all over the place. Great effort. Cardinals lead 8-7. And this is McCormick on the serve, handled well by Peters. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She swings, but a great save there by number 13, Bennett. just outside, out wide for the Vikings in their favor. It is now tied at 8 apiece. Hazelwood here on the serve. We've got a great matchup again by two heavyweight title. We've got number 6 here against number 8. And a nice block by Kat Blanchard. She is going early, and she has been ready to play since the opening serve. And she is absolutely on fire there at the net, giving the Cardinals all sorts of fits. They are not having anything easy here tonight by the way of Kat Blanchard. Hazelwood with a nice serve. Allset was there for the block. Hazelwood will set up Allset. She's going early. I love to see it. Great save. Hit the antenna, says the judge, in favor of the Cardinals. That'll push the lead, or excuse me, the score 9 apiece. Great effort here by both teams. And that's number 2, bat on the serve. Hazelwood will set up Blanchard. Great kill from Blanchard. Again, she has just been unbelievable to start this game, but a great setup by Hazelwood, and the girls are gelling well. This is to be expected, an absolute fist fight of a match between these two teams. Love to see it. Great volleyball here tonight. In the first set, as we have Friesen serving. She's just a little short. Friesen is typically a very good server. She has 134 on the year, just 12 errors for a 91% in terms of serves. Number 4 for the Cardinals, Bittner on the serve. She's got a nice little serve, dropped it right in there, but a great save there by Hope. Tipped at the net by, that was number 3, Hedstrom. And nice save there by Peters. Pass from Adolph, and they're going to set up. Wow, tough call. They set up Bittner, who gets the kill there. Great setup, though. Got to give them a lot of credit. They have been really trying to get Bittner and McCormick going early. Bittner there. It's just kind of a tough ball for Hope Duncan to handle there, so that'll fall in Cardinals' favor as they lead at 12-10. And this is Bittner again on the serve. Great serve there. And Keeley does her best to get that, but it ends up going over. Free ball for the Cardinals. And a great diving effort out of Tinley Scott. They're going to set up Duncan, and she goes on the attack, but another great save out of Adolph. And that's Hedstrom on the bump over. They're going to set up Hope Duncan. Got a piece of it at the net. They're going to set up there Bittner. Hazelwood gets the pass. Great play there. Timing was just a little off, but Hope Duncan did a great job of adjusting to it. A pass from Hazelwood as she gets another assist. Great swing there out of Hope Duncan as she's bringing it early as well. Kat Blanchard on the serve here. And that's bumped right over. Hazelwood will set up Peters as she goes on the soft attack. That lands just outside wide, falling in favor of the Cardinals as they lead it here 13-11. This will be Adolph on the serve, one of the captains here for the Cardinals tonight. Great serve there, but pass from Blanchard over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Duncan, tipped at the net, and they're going to go ahead and set up. A little bit of an awkward setup there for Bittner. Hazelwood will set up. Oh, she's going to push it wide. Great effort out of Bittner there to save that one. Duncan on the pass to Hazelwood. She'll set up Peters. She's going to try for that far corner, but left it a little wide. Definitely see the game plan for the Vikings. They're going to try to hit some of those open gaps, but some of them are just not falling in their favor right now. As the coach will question something here from the Cardinals. Get an explanation from the judge here. And they will go ahead and make a substitution. Number 7, Carson Inslee will check back into the game. She's going to serve it here for the Cardinals as they lead it 14-11 here in the first set. And Blanchard on the pass. She's going to actually hit it over. And they're going to set up. Looks like nice block there by Tinley Scott at the net. And they go for another one. Tinley is on fire. Here she goes for another one. Oh, and this one, great diving attempt there. They were a little early on the call. Tinley Scott is doing all sorts of things at the net for the Vikings right now. 2 blocks there on that set. And they're getting some explanation here at the scores table. Again, that was just excellent play by Tinley Scott at the net, causing fits for the Cardinals offense as they were not able to get anything clean for their attacks. Twice Scott hit him at the net. The second one just got a little bit past her. Great effort there out of Bree Peters on the diving on the floor as she attempted to save that one. But there was an early call out of the judge that kind of stopped the momentum of the play. And so they're getting an explanation here. They're going to talk amongst the judges. So as the Cardinals lead at 15-11, it's been so far a very great contest between, once again, I've mentioned several times before, this is a top 10 battle. Cheney at 9-2, number 6 in 3A, and Smoky Valley number 8 in 3A, standing at 14-6. And I'm getting the word from Mike Rose. It was a rotation issue on Cheney's side. So getting an explanation. The judge is explaining that to the coach. Thank you, Mike, for that. We'll continue here in a moment. Great assistance there from Jordan Elseth, giving Hope Duncan a drink. As she stays hydrated, it's important that our athletes are in tip-top shape, so we love to see the managers continuously providing for our athletes. And Adolph is going to go ahead and serve for the Vikings. They took the point off, so now the Cardinals only lead at 14-11. Hazelwood will set up Hope, and she's going to soft attack over the top. Nice diving save by McCormick. McCormick will actually just bump an over free play here for the Vikings. Duncan will push long, but another great save out of Bittner. Blanchett with a nice pass. She'll get it to Hazelwood. A little difficult of a attack there for Hope, but she will get it over. Nice play at the net. Hope Duncan just put her hands up, but a great save by the Cardinals as we've got, and a nice kill out of Hope Duncan, the leader of the Viking offense with 209 kills on the season. It was kind of a back and forth there. Nobody had a real clean play on it, and Hope said, enough with it. I'm going to put it down. Peters on the serve. Great serve there. And they're going to go ahead and set up. The Cardinals will set up. That was number 15, Griffin. Duncan's going to try to push that to the far corner. And they're really trying to get McCormick going. Nice pass from Keeley. It's a high one. They're going to set up Duncan. And nice play at the net. Tilly Scott. She is her. Nothing is getting by Tinley Scott here tonight at the net. Playing just excellent defense from the 5'8" senior Tinley Scott. Peters on the serve here. Handled well by Adolph. They're going to set up McCormick as she's one of the hitters, and that's just wide. Great vision there out of the senior Hope Duncan. She was communicating that very early, and that one went wide. Great assistance there by Coach Snyder. Peters here on the serve. Great serve. Pass from Bittner. They're going to try to set up. That would have been Hedstrom. And they're going to set up Bittner. That one's a little too hard to handle, and that'll fall in favor of the Cardinals. And number 7, Inslee, will check back in. She'll be the server here for the Cardinals. Both teams playing very good volleyball here. Blanchett on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Scott as she swings! And it touched the Cardinals player there. It'll fall in favor of the Vikings. Kind of been a momentum swing back and forth. That pendulum continues to go one way and then the other. As both teams, again, just excellent volleyball here tonight. Hope Duncan on the serve. She really put that there on the sideline. And that's McCormick over. They're going to set up Allstead. Tipped at the net. And McCormick swings again. Tipped at the net. And falls in favor of the Cardinals. Looking for a little side-out action here for the Vikings. As number 3, Hedstrom, will serve here for the Cardinals. That one's handled by Blanchett. Hazelwood will set up Allstead. She's swinging early, and a nice play there by Hedstrom. She kind of just put her arm out, and the ball fell right to it. And that's Hazelwood setting up Scott. Diving attempt out of Adolph. She'll push it over. And a nice play at Adrian Hazelwood. She saw the opening. The defense was just not quite set as they were trying to get the right rotation. Hazelwood just a little too quick for the Cardinal defense. Great play out of the senior who leads the Vikings in assists with a total. I had it here. She has a total of 442 on the season. Again, a career for Hazelwood has just been phenomenal, over 2,000 assists. That one's just a little wide on the serve. Point Cardinals as they lead it here in an absolute fistfight of a volleyball match, leading at 17-16. That one was a little tall, but great save there by Duncan. Blanchett will just hit it over. They're going to try to set up. That's number 4, Bittner, and it's touched by a Vikings, and it'll fall down on the ground. Point for the Cardinals as they lead at 18-16. Again, just continuously going back and forth between the two. It almost seems like who's ever going to have the momentum here last will run away with it. And that one's long. Served a little too strong by McCormick. And Hazelwood, who will serve it here. She has 209 serves on the year at a 91% rate of success. She gets it right over to, and it was number 13, Bennett. They're going to set up Bittner. Great diving attempt from Scott to save that one. Peters, and it's tipped to the net. They're going to push this one a little bit to bat. And I think they called in the net against the Cardinals. So this one goes to the Vikings as they are working very hard to get control of this game, as they kind of been down for the last few. And now they tie it at 18 apiece. Coach for the Cardinals, that is, again, the coach for the Cardinals, Sarah Walkup. She's trying to get an explanation from the ref. The ref called in the net on that one. She just kind of questioned that, see what's going on. Nonetheless, point for the Vikings as Hazelwood, a beautiful serve right over there. And Avery Allsted looks like a lift on the Cardinals. Allsted was ready to absolutely put that one down. I don't think anything was going to get it by it. And Coach Walkup can feel the momentum shifting in the Vikings' favor. You got to love it. Coach Schneider is absolutely feeling good right now as the momentum's going back in their favor. Cardinals take a timeout. So far, again, what a matchup between the visiting Cheney Cardinals and your Smoky Valley Vikings. They just grabbed the lead at 19-18, and for a while there, it kind of looked like Cheney was going to try to run away with it, but unsuccessful as great leadership out of the Vikings. You know that this core of seniors won't just go down without a battle, and you're seeing it tonight. The Cardinals also have quite a bit of experience. They are constant participants in the state tournament across the board. On their varsity, they have nothing but seniors and juniors. So really, you're looking at a lot of experience on both sides. So nobody's going to go down. Nobody's going to get kind of rattled. You're going to see both teams be able to pick each other up, and that's what you're seeing right now. At no point has it looked like anybody's down on themselves from either side. So you kind of love to see that as just both teams are very confident in their abilities. And we've got a great matchup here. Hazelwood on the serve. Another beautiful serve. Adolph handles that one. They're going to go ahead and set up a little bit of an awkward, some miscommunication. And it looks like block. Oh, and a great block at the net. Blanchett swung, but not successful. Avery Allsted there to challenge at the net. And it falls in favor of the Vikings. As I think the momentum's favoring the Vikings right now. They're getting it going. Up 20-18. Hazelwood on the serve. Another excellent serve. She's just been swinging really well from the serve. Wow, great play there. I think that was number 11, one of the taller girls for the Cardinals, that it's Erica Block. And Block standing at, they have her at 5'10". She looks a little bit taller than that. Might be wrong there. Great diving save there from Hope Duncan. Hazelwood will just push it over. And swinging was Bittner, but the Vikings handle that one. Hazelwood will set up, all set just a little bit wide. I saw the gap she was looking for, just wasn't able to connect properly on the ball. Great attempt, though. I love the way that Avery's swinging tonight. Good to see her back in action. And this one falls short for Inslee. And although the serve's kind of been hit or miss so far, we've got great action here tonight. The visiting number 6, 3A, number 6 and 3A, Cheney Cardinals, facing off against your Smoky Valley Vikings. And that, and a nice block at the net. Blanchett with another block. I tell you what, the defense for the Vikings have brought it tonight. Leading the way, number 25, Kat Blanchett, also having a phenomenal night. Defensively has been number 10, senior Tinley Scott. Looks like another timeout. As this one's getting closer here to 25, the Vikings lead at 22-20 as both teams huddle in the timeout. Love to see the communication the Vikings are bringing, and you've seen just a little bit of what all they can do. They are blocking at the net. Some of the attacks that look like they should be great kills for the Cardinals have been unsuccessful, as you're seeing just beautiful play at the net out of Blanchett and Scott. Kind of both have just continuously made it difficult for the Cardinals to hit, and you love seeing it. And then you see on the back half, you see the great effort. We've seen Avery Alsted on the ground. We've seen Bree Peters on the ground. We've seen Hope Duncan on the ground. Not allowing anything easy for the Cardinals, but you got to give Cardinals credit. They are not going away without a fight. They're going to continuously look for opportunities, look for gaps in the defense, although that defense has been very, very stout for the Vikings. The libero, number 33, Keely Friesen, one of the youngest girls here for the Vikings on the varsity. Her serve is unsuccessful, although she has been very good with serves at a 91% rate on the year. And this will be Bittner on the serve for the Cardinals. Handled well by Scott. She's going to pass it to Hazelwood, who's going to set up Duncan at the net, and this one's tipped at the net. Although it goes over to the Viking side, it lands out of bounds. Point Vikings as they lead it 23-21. Love to see it. Vikings inching closer. Now this one is, right now you kind of need to see the Vikings settle down. The last few serve attempts have not been successful. You can see where they're really trying to aim in the Cardinals defense. They may see something they like, as the last two have gone wide left. This one giving the point to the Cardinals. That's Adolph on the serve. Handled well by Friesen. Hazelwood's going to set up Duncan. She swings hard, but a great save there by Adolph. Nice tip in the net. Tinley Scott. I tell you, she is having an absolute day. Tinley Scott. Love to see it, and it's game point here for the first set. You feel the crowd getting into it tonight. Peters with a beautiful serve. Handled there by Bittner. A nice soft attack over the top by Hedstrom. And that one is down in favor of the Vikings. And they'll take this first one in a really tough battle between two heavyweights. Top 10 battle. I'm going to say this continuously because it's a big deal. The Vikings take that first set 25-22. Love to see it. And they're going to go ahead and switch sides. That is back, by the way. Anybody that's kind of been watching the last few years, you notice that when COVID protocols were here, the teams did not switch benches. Now they are going back to switching it. I've heard mixed reviews on that. And whether you like it or love it, it's here for now, but might be something that in the future they change. Again, the Vikings take that first one, 25-22, really leading the way. It was the defensive side of things for the Vikings, making it very difficult, as several of the attacks from the Cardinals landed unsuccessful because you've got a stout defense meeting them at the net with Tinley Scott, the senior, who's kind of just been all over the place making plays, as really that's where her leadership has been tonight, is the defensive side. And then Kat Blanchett, as good as it gets in the state, she's a top 5 in the state at 3A in blocks with 45. We're going to add a few more here as we again thank Liz Schrog for doing all the stats. She's done an excellent job. She keeps these stats updated, and they're on Max Preps for me to be able to look at and just give you some insight on how the girls are doing on the year. So the Vikings take it 25-22 in the first set, so expect a really good one here in the second set as the Vikings look to take down number 6, Cheney, as they came into this matchup, number 6 in the state at 9-2. Also really enjoyed watching the leadership of the Vikings. You know, it seemed like the Cardinals were going to kind of run away with it. At one point, they were up 14, and actually it was 15-11, but then that point was taken away. So the Cardinals were up 14-11, and it seemed like the momentum was kind of starting to stay in there on their side of the court, but great job out of the Vikings not getting rattled. You see that leadership out of the seniors. You know that they've been to the state tournament 3 times now, 3 times in a row. The first appearance, these seniors would have been freshmen, so you know that they've got the experience, and then they come back in 2021, had an excellent performance in the 2021 state tourney with a record of 41-4, 5th place that year, and then last year taking sub-state here at their own court as they got to the state tournament for the 3rd straight year. And somebody that they always see there as well is Cheney. So the reason I continuously refer to this top ranked is because it has state ramifications. You know, we don't have the sub-state placings just yet. We're going to hopefully come out here soon. I thought they were pretty quick in basketball, so we expect those placements any time now. But again, this is big time. This is state-level competition. This is the type of competition the girls want to be facing and preparing them for that state tournament. Hazelwood with a serve over, and that's McCormick on the attack, handled well by Hope Duncan. They're going to set up Alston. I love the way that she's playing tonight. She's swinging, and I love to see it. I want her to stay aggressive. They're not falling right now. However, she's seeing the court well. She's seeing the gaps. Once she kind of gets a handle on that ball, I'm telling you, they're going to be some serious kills out of Avery Alstead. And that's McCormick on the serve here. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She swings, but it's met at the net by number 11, Erica Block. Again, that's one of the taller girls for the Cardinals. They have her listed at 5'10". I want to say she's a little bit taller, maybe 5'11". She looks a little bit shorter than Kat, who stands at 6 feet. And this is McCormick on the serve. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She sees the gap. Well done by Kat Blanchett. The previous one didn't fall in her favor. She went on the hard attack, which it was met at the net, and then she adjusted, saw the open gap. She sees the floor so well. She's such an experienced player for just being a junior. Nice play there by Hope. She tries to dunk it over the top of the net. Tough placement there. It was right at the net. Blanchett did everything she could to try to get it over, but again, just a bad angle. Nothing she could do about that one but try. The Cardinals lead it here in the second set, 3-1. As you kind of expected, the Cardinals to deliver the punch here as they want to get going. They want to kind of prove that that first one wasn't quite what it was. And a little bit of an error there out of Tinley Scott. Just couldn't get a hold of that pass. And Hazelwood did a great job hustling, but it does fall in favor of the Cardinals. And that's bad on the serve. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett, and she finds the open gap. Great attack and kill out of Kat Blanchett. Love to see it. She absolutely cranked that one down. It was too hot to handle. And she is playing absolutely stellar here tonight. She gets the signal from Coach Schneider. Gets the serve a little bit long there. We've seen some errors in the serving department so far. And it's kind of delayed in favor of both sides. But I imagine they're going to settle down here. And that's number 4, Bittner on the serve. And Hope swings hard, but it's met at the net by number 11, Erica Block. I think there's a reason she was named Block. And she's playing volleyball. It suits her well. She has had many blocks at the net. And this is Bittner again on the serve. Hope's on. Oh, and an awkward placement there. That was a tough play there for Hope Duncan. And we're going to get a timeout call. Okay, so it was a little bit of a tough angle. Hope did her absolute best. And I think they're going to give it to him. So I think the original call was on the wrong side of the antenna. And then as they talked, they said, no, it was on the correct side of the antenna. And so the Vikings will get the point there. Great play out of Hope Duncan. Again, that was a very tough play for her. And a great serve out of Bree Peters. Man, she has been firing on all missiles tonight. And that's a tough play. Scott had a little bit of a tip there at the net. So that point goes in favor of the Cardinals. All right, that serve handled by Friesen. Hazelwood sees the gap, the donut, as Coach Ramsey would refer to. Scott goes for the block at the net, but it falls in favor of the Cardinals as they're starting to kind of run away with this one here in the second set, leading it 8-3. All the momentum in their favor. Adolph, who was very steady in the previous set, she'll serve it here. Handled by Peters. She'll pass it up to Hazelwood. She's going to set up Duncan, and she fires it down. And she fires it down again. They pass it right back to her. The Cardinals didn't know what to expect. They made a big mistake. Hope made them pay for it there as she was swinging hard and wasn't going down without the point. Great play there out of Hope Duncan, and she'll be the one serving here. And that one just a little bit long. You can kind of see what they're really trying to do. That one was close. It was a close call, but I think Coach Doak had it right. It was just long. And another serving error for the Vikings, as that's kind of been the Achilles heel so far out of all of the great play they've had. This one's also long, so they're going to go serve for serve, error for error. And that one a little bit long there for number 7, Karsten Inslee. And that'll give the Vikings the point. Scott here with a serve. Nice serve, handled by number 4, Bittner. They're going to set up McCormick, but a pass from Allstedt. Hazelwood will set her up. Allstedt swings. I love it. She's going to keep attacking. I want her to do it, but a nice setup to number 3, Reese Hedstrom, who's kind of been one of the swingers there for the Cardinals. Just swinging hard. They like to set up number 3, Hedstrom, and they like to set up number 12, Peyton McCormick. And this is Reese here with a serve. A very good player here for the Cardinals. And that had a vicious drop right in front of Bree. She had a tough time, just kind of had a hard time dictating where that ball was going to drop. And it had a nice little top spin to it. Dropped right in front of Bree Peters. So, again, the momentum in the favor of the Cardinals right now. As the Vikings took the first set 25-22. Vikings, excellent play in the first set, especially defensively. And you've seen the momentum go in favor of the Cardinals. As we know, this is a top 10 battle in 3A. You know that neither school is going to back down from each other. They want this type of matchup. This is where you find who you're made of, and this is where you start to prepare. As we're midway through the season, this is where you start to prepare and get ready for these matchups that you're going to find in the state tournament. Both of these are regular teams in the state tournament, and so this is a great test for the Vikings. And I would assume Coach Snyder would agree. You don't want it to be easy. You don't want this to be a runaway, a 2-0, where you just had no challenge at all. You want the Cardinals to bring their best, and that's what you want to beat. And here's Hedstrom with the serve. Nice serve there, but handled well by Scott. Hazelwood with a pass. Blanchett, she swings, but a nice save out of Adrian Hazelwood. And they're going to go ahead and set up. That's number 2, Bat. And they're going to set up Cap, but nice play at the net, and it drops in favor of the Vikings. He was met at the net, so Blanchett swings hard, and McCormick meets her at the net, but it falls down in favor of the Vikings. Hazelwood on the serve. She's an excellent server. 15 aces on the season at a 91% success rate. Great save there by Tinley Scott. I love the effort, but unfortunately it touched the ceiling. Great effort. I love to see the hustle out of the Vikings. They're not letting anything easy for the Cardinals. And this is number 12, McCormick. She's had a nice night so far. Great serve, handled well by Peters. And Hazelwood with a push to the far corner, unsuccessful, handled well by the Cardinals. Hazelwood with a diving pass there to Peters. She'll set up Allstedt, and a nice play at the net. Man, the Cardinals are really bringing it at the net, making it very difficult for our Vikings. Erica Block there with the block. Again, she's been at the net commonly, causing fits here for the Vikings. And that's McCormick, who's short on the serve. Really, the serves haven't been there tonight for either team. It's kind of been pretty trade for trade when it comes to missed serves. As right now, the Vikings are down 13-7. Keely Friesen, the sophomore, will serve it, handled well by Bennett. And they're going to set up. Nice kill there by number 4, Alexis Bittner. And number 15 for the Cardinals, Savannah Griffin, will check in. She'll replace number 7, Carson Inslee. And on the serve here, Macy Batt. A very experienced Cardinals group they bring here. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. Man, she is met again. Cardinals are just finding their way at the net. I believe that was number 4, Alexis Bittner, the captain here for tonight. Another serve and handled well by Scott. Hazelwood will pass over to Duncan. She tries the attack, but handled well by the Cardinals. Scott will pass over to Hazelwood, who will set up Duncan, and she swings, and she delivers! Excellent play out of the Vikings as they get that point, and they're down 15-8. And Blanchard on the serve here, handled by Adolph, and they're going to set up, that's number 11, Block. Wow, what an excellent play. I looked down so I didn't see who that was, but excellent play out of the Vikings as they saw the gap there on the sideline and perfectly placed. They kept it in bounds. Man, that was a tough play, but you love to see it as the Vikings again working their way back into this game, although they're down 15-9. Ooh, it was a tough play. Not quite sure. It was totally a hit. Looked like more of a scoop, but nonetheless in favor of the Cardinals as number 4, Alexis Bittner, floats it over. Hazelwood will set up Duncan. That's a tough spot, but Duncan adjusts well to it. She didn't get a clean attack on it and just dropped over the net perfectly in the hole by Reese Hedstrom, who's had a really good night. Again, she's kind of one of those that the Cardinals are commonly looking for her to pound it down and bury it into the ground. Great job there by Hope. Hey, nice play again out of Hazelwood as she's finding the gaps in the defense. And you can see her giving encouragement to the team as she has great leadership qualities for the Vikings here. And they're going to go ahead and set up Hedstrom. And that one lands out of bounds. Great call by Mrs. Williams there. That one's a little long. And that'll be in favor of the Vikings as they are down 17-11. Great serve there by Bree Peters. That was a little bit hot to handle. And Hedstrom with the error there. She didn't get a clean pop on the ball. And point Vikings. Peters on the serve. Wow, beautiful serve there, but excellent diving save by Bittner. Duncan will pass to Hazelwood. She'll set up Scott. She tips it right over, but a great diving pass from Adolph. Wow, a nice swing there from Bittner. She's bringing it, and Hazelwood. Point Vikings. They call a lift there, which wonder a few times if the Cardinals are getting close to that. And Coach Walkup can kind of feel the momentum walking in favor of the Vikings as they close the gap 17-13. Love to see the crowd here tonight. We've got a good crowd in just one of 3 home appearances the Vikings will make. They had last week's appearance where I believe they went 1-1. As last week they had dropped to Hillsboro 0-2, and then they had beaten Lions pretty handedly 2-0. And then in the home matchup, they faced Haven and Ellenwood, in which the Vikings had a clean sweep. They won both of those 2-0. And so this is just one of 3 appearances they'll make at home. The next time they are at home will be senior night for the Vikings. And we'll honor many of these seniors that we have tonight who are just doing a phenomenal job leading these girls as they are currently ranked 8th in state. Bree Peters on the serve here. She gets the signal to go. Excellent serve there, handled by Adolph. They're going to go ahead and set up Hedstrom, and she finds the gap. Excellent hustle play from number 33, Keely Friesen, but that's just a little bit wide falls in favor of the Cardinals. Hedstrom did a great job finding that white sideline and knocking it in. This pass from Blanchett to Hazelwood. She'll set up Duncan, and she'll smoke it down, but it's handled well by the Cardinals. Peters on the pass to Hazelwood. She's going to go ahead and set up Duncan, and she swings, tipped at the net. And the Cardinals keep it alive. And that's McCormick, who brings it down hard, just out of reach for Blanchett, who tried everything she could. Blanchett sitting at 6 feet tall. She did everything she could to get a reach over there, but it was a little too hot to handle. Again, McCormick, an excellent player for the Cardinals. And this one drops, handled well by, hey, nice play out of Tinley Scott. We haven't heard her call. She had an excellent first set, defensively especially, as number 27, Avery Allstedt, will check into the game. And this is Hope Duncan on the serve as the Vikings are down 19-14 as they'll continue to chip away at this lead. And this one handled by Bittner, as Bittner will then swing, but it's tipped at the net by Scott. Hazelwood will go ahead and set up Avery Allstedt, and that's also tipped at the net as she swings. The attack not successful. And McCormick is finding all of the gaps in the Viking defense. That one was right between Blanchett and Allstedt as they just, I couldn't dial it up any better. That was an absolutely beautifully placed hit from McCormick, who has had her name called several times here tonight. And that one's wide. Again, we have seen many serves so far tonight. I don't have the number, but we have seen a number of serves on both sides either go long or wide. So you know that they're getting the signal from the coach of where to go. They're just not successful in dropping them in. Scott here with a serve. And that's Bittner on the pass, and Blanchett tries to pop that one down. A great attempt there from Scott to save it, and it's met at the net there by Hedstrom, and Blanchett with the block at the net. And she is getting going, and Blanchett will tip it right over, but a diving save by Adolph. And that's long in favor of the Vikings. That was number 2, Macy Bat. She tried to bat it in, but it was a little bit too long. As the Vikings again chipping away, they're kind of keeping it at that 4. If they can break this 4-point lead, I have all the belief that they'll keep the momentum in their favor. A little bit of miscommunication here for the Cardinals, but it's going to be pushed over, and a point for the Vikings. Not sure what the call. I didn't see on the call on that one. Maybe double hit. Nonetheless, point for the Vikings. And Scott with the serve here. And they're going to go ahead and set up McCormick. And a nice diving attempt there to save that one. Didn't see the number. Oh, that looks like number 7, Inslee. And Duncan from the back row attack. Adolph with the pass. And that one's a little bit too hot to handle. Inslee bumps it out of play. She looked at the wrong group of people in the stands. And now we've got the momentum shifting in favor of the Vikings as they are now just 2 away from tying this thing away. Scott with a serve right over the middle. And a nice little attempt out there by Inslee to try to catch the defense off guard. Hey, nice save there out of Hazelwood. She's doing everything she can to keep that ball alive. Oh, and just didn't get enough of the ball. Love to see the effort of getting on the floor by Tinley Scott. Hazelwood had a tough time getting all of that one. You see Coach Snyder, he's got the orange pullover off. He's ready to go. He's doing everything he can to pump his girls up. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She soft attack, and it drops. Great diving save there by Inslee. She's playing well here in this second set. Hedstrom has to hustle to give her that one. Adolph will go ahead and set up McCormick. It's blocked in the net. What a play by Kat Blanchett. Man, has she been tough at the net. An absolute stud at the net has been Kat Blanchett, the junior, who is again leading the Vikings on the season with 47 blocks. She's 5th in the state. She has been incredible here tonight. And that was Hazelwood on the serve, just over the top of the outreached hand of Blanchett. And Allstedt will just pass it over. They're going to go ahead and set it back. And it's blocked again! Blanchett is on fire! Another block by Blanchett. Man, she is going here tonight, making it very difficult. And the momentum is definitely in favor of the Vikings. As Walkup will take a timeout. She can feel it. That momentum again. walking away from the Cardinals as they lead it 21-20. She wants to settle her team in. Again, this is a very experienced group of the Cardinals. They will surely be expected to get back to the state tournament. And this is also an experienced team out of the Vikings. I have mentioned it before. They are 3 straight state tournament participants, so you know it's not going to be easy. And it was kind of a 5-point lead for a majority of this game. The Cardinals really jumped out and got the lead early. You can kind of see the Vikings came out flat in this second set. Cardinals jumped all over them, but when somebody delivers the first punch, it's not about delivering the first punch. It's about how you respond. And the Vikings have responded well. They stayed steady. They never got off the course. They listened to the coaching. Great job by Doug Schneider getting them going. And here they are, just down 1. Hazelwood on the serve. Beautiful serve. That's handled by Adolph. She'll pass it up to Inslee. She's going to set up. What a nice kill there out of Bittner. What a beautiful setup. And Bittner, man, she really got up there and got a hold of that ball. Excellent pound there from Bittner. And we're getting some action here from the crowd. Love to hear it. Great hustle play by the Cardinals. Bittner, ow! Oh, my! There goes Kat Blanchett once again. She is an absolute brick wall at the net. Absolutely incredible play out of Kat Blanchett with the block again. She is just incredible there. But as the Cardinals adjust to it, a soft attack kind of got Blanchett out of rhythm. Blanchett has been doing a great job timing her blocks as the Cardinals go up for the kill. That time, a little bit of off speed there for the Cardinals. And here we go, bat with a serve. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. Oh, nice play, man. I'll tell you what. Alexis Bittner is absolutely feeling it right now. She's doing many things well for the Cardinals. And with a game point, game on the line, Coach Schneider will go ahead and take a timeout, settle his girls down, get some of the rhythm and the confidence back into his girls. Again, the girls, the Smoky Valley Vikings wearing pink uniforms here tonight, look absolutely amazing as their play has been great here on the court. We've got a great home crowd here. Love to see that as well. We've got a beautiful mix of orange and black in the crowd. I see some really great cheering section off to the far left. All the Soderstrom Elementary kids here to support the Vikings. They are the future, so you might as well watch the girls here in action as they are going well. And we also see a great cheering section out of the moms, the Lady Vikings moms, as they're decked out in capes. And we've got an absolute battle between the visiting number 8 in state, Cheney Cardinals, and your Smoky Valley Vikings. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett, and it's great attack there. And that had to be pushed over. Hazelwood will go ahead and set Duncan up, but it's tipped. It is blocked at the net. What a play from the Cardinals. I believe that was number 11, Erica Block, who has many blocks already here on the night. And that'll fall in favor of the Cardinals, who now, with that win in the second set, it'll push the game to a third. So the first set, the Vikings win 25-22. Here in the second set, Cardinals take it 25-21, and it has been an absolute heavyweight title match. Both teams playing exceptionally well. I have seen great blocks at the net. I've seen great attacks, and I've seen great communication. But most of all, I have seen great enthusiasm for this sport. Love the passion that we're seeing out of the both teams. This matters to them both because, as I've mentioned before, this is a top 10 battle right now in 3A. The visiting Cheney Cardinals, 9-2 on the season. They are number 6 in 3A, and your Smoky Valley Vikings, number 8 at 14-6. So this matters. This has state ramifications. Both teams are going to go ahead and switch benches once again. So whether you're in favor of that rule, it went away with COVID, and now it's back. And I've actually asked Coach Schneider how he felt about that, and he said that might be something that coaches come together and talk about, maybe switching. So again, the Vikings losing that one 20 21-25. But excellent play there. Love what I've seen so far out of Kat Blanchett. She has been an absolute just pest at the net, not making anything easy for the Cardinals, as several of their attacks were unsuccessful due to the long, freakishly athletic play of Kat Blanchett. Also, love to see the play out of Tinley Scott. She's kind of been up and down literally up and down, making saves, diving all over the place, but she's up at the net also making great blocks. Love to see some of the serves be a little bit more successful. Through the season, the Vikings have been pretty successful when it comes to serve, as I have the serve rate there at 91%. I don't believe we were anywhere close to that tonight. We've kind of had some struggles. However, both sides, I would say, have not had a great night when it comes to serving. So it's not just an issue right now with the Vikings. It's kind of been a struggle for both sides. However, they've made up for it in several different ways, being very strong on the attack. I love to see Avery Alsett. She had spent some time away with some illness, and it's great to see her back. I think she mentioned to me that she's feeling closer to 100% than she has in a while now, so it's great to see her out there. She's seeing the floor well, and once she really kind of gets a hold of that ball, it's going to fall, and those attacks are going to really pay off dividends. I love to see her attack, and I hope she doesn't step off the ball and start taking it easy. I love to see the adjustments that both teams have made. They are kind of catching on to each other, and as several times Kat Blanchett meet them at the net, Cardinals kind of started dialing up different speeds, as a couple of times they've gone for the hit, and then they slowed it down with a soft attack and kind of got Kat out of her rhythm on the block attempts. But again, we are tied here at 1 apiece. Vikings winning the first set 25-22. Cardinals winning the second one 25-21. So, as we've seen before, it would be a great start here for the Vikings to get the point early. Really, if you get the first point, momentum starts to shift in your way. And I think, don't quote me on this, but at least with the previous set, Cardinals really jumped out on the Vikings early, and that helped them secure just enough. And that one's a little long from Blanchett. Mrs. Williams on the call there. It was a tough call, but a little bit long. And this is number 12, McCormick, on the serve. Handled by Scott. Hazelwood will set up Alsett. She's going to swing, but it's tipped at the net. Again, Block is giving us all sorts of fits. Block will actually be the one to attack there. And wow, that's a tough play out of McCormick. I thought she hit her head there, but she's going to continue to play. Peters with a little bit of trouble on that ball, and she immediately told Tinley Scott, my bad. So Peters with a tough time hitting on that ball, but great hustle out of Tinley Scott. And we've got a 2-0 lead for the Cardinals. McCormick, excellent play out of her tonight. She has been a leader for the Cardinals, as she has been all over the place. Hazelwood will try to set up Blanchett, and she'll go for a soft attack. And this one's going to go to a great play, great setup, and Bittner up high and down hard for the Cardinals, as they're kind of jumping out on the Vikings early again here in the third set. 3-0, Cardinals lead it. McCormick, I thought she hit her head on the floor, but she seems to be fine. And a great serve there out of McCormick. Right now, the Vikings a little bit out of rhythm. They need to kind of come together, relax a little bit, take a deep breath. You've been down 4 before. No reason to panic. The leadership that they have, the experience, they're going to be just fine. They just got to settle down in here. McCormick with the serve. Peters there on the pass over to Hazelwood. She hustles. She's going to try to set up Duncan, but it's just out of rhythm. And McCormick on the pass. And Bittner, wow, what a save there by Hope Duncan. No chance for an attack, though. And a nice block at the net. I think both Blanchett and Alsett were there. I'm going to assume Blanchett had the block there. Again, she has just been an absolute brick wall, making it very difficult for the Cardinals to attack. Hazelwood on the serve. Beautiful serve. And they're going to go ahead and set up Bittner. It was a little awkward. I think they're going to call a lift. Yep, calling a lift on Bittner. She just didn't have her steps down properly, and it looked like she kind of scooped it more than she hit it. She wasn't quite sure if she agreed on that call, but that's all right. Point for the Vikings. They are down 2-4. Bittner on the pass there. They're going to go ahead and set up. Oh, nice pass from Hope. She had to really get on the floor for that one. And that was Macy Batt on the attack. Again, captains for tonight, number 20, Adrian Hazelwood, the senior, and number 27, Avery Allsett for the Vikings. Peters on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Allsett. She'll swing. And handled well by the libero Adolph. And they're going to go ahead and set up Bittner, who's had the hot hand tonight so far for the Cardinals. Scott will pass it up. Allsett will swing, and she just didn't find the inside of the white line there. Left it wide. Point for the Cardinals. Again, just seems to be a little bit out of rhythm. They're not connecting well, and they're not getting each other set up, so the girls just got to kind of calm down. You can see that. Kat's really trying to get the girls to calm down. Great pass here from Peters as she handles that serve well. Blanchett will swing. Didn't get all of it, just didn't seem to have the pop on the ball. Bittner, though, and a nice play out of Kat Blanchett at the net. Bittner had a nice setup there, had a chance for a great kill, unsuccessful because of the excellent play out of the junior, number 25, Kat Blanchett. Keely Friesen on the serve. Good serve there. Nothing special. Just get it over. Put it in play. Oh, and a really tough ball there. That was Erica Block. Tough play. That one really snuck up on number 10, Tinley Scott. And that point will fall in favor of the Cardinals as they lead it 7-3. And that's Bittner, who's had a really good night so far. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She'll attack. But Bittner handles that well. They're going to go ahead and set up Hedstrom, who's had a good night as well. Duncan on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Duncan as well, and a nice swing, but a beautiful diving attempt to save it by Bittner, and then Adolph couldn't get all of it as she made an attempt to save that one, but unsuccessful, and that will fall in favor of the Vikings as they now are down 7-4. Blanchard on the serve, Bittner on the pass. They're going to go ahead and set up as number 15, Griffin. That one is unsuccessful. And again, momentum might be shifting towards the Vikings as they now down just 2. But again, we've had some serving issues. Although the Vikings are generally a pretty good serving team on the season, their serve percentage is at 91%. Across the board, pretty good servers, but that one just a little long. Adolph, and a great attempt from Hope Duncan on the save. Friesen will go ahead and hit it over, and they're going to set up Hedstrom. Pass from Blanchett over to Scott. She'll set up Duncan. She swings, but it hit the net, and it gave, and Bittner, nice play. Beautiful play there by Tinley Scott. Met him at the net, and that play, or that point, will go to the Vikings. Again, now just down 2. Peters on the serve. Bittner had passed. Hedstrom will go ahead and soft attack over the middle. Bittner will save that one. They're going to pass it back to Bittner. She has a back row attempt. Wow, that was a tough play there by Bittner. And that one will fall just a little bit beyond Blanchett. Just didn't have the right angle on it. The Cardinals lead it 9-6. And that is Griffin on the serve, handled by Friesen. Hazelwood will go ahead and set up Duncan. She'll swing, but it's met at the net by Hedstrom. I'll tell you what, both teams have really found their way around the net. I would say between Hedstrom, Griffin, and Block, Griffin, McCormick, and Block, it's not been an easy night for the attackers of the Vikings. And this one falls wide right for the Cardinals, giving the point to the Vikings, as they find themselves down 7-10 here in the third set. Again, the Vikings taking it 25-22 in the first set. Then the Cardinals return the favor, winning 25-21. Hope Duncan on the serve here, handled by Bittner. They're going to go ahead and set up McCormick, and she'll swing. Excellent save there by Hope Duncan, but here's a free play. Wow, what a play there by Carson Inslee. She kind of saw that the Viking defense was still scrambling back into place. They didn't get their defense totally set, and a great vision there out of Inslee. Hedstrom with the serve, handled by Blanchett. Hazelwood will set up Scott, and she swings, met at the net by McCormick. McCormick will head and swing, and that was just a little tall. Blanchett did her very best to get her hands on that one, but it did fall. So, timeout here by the Vikings as they are down 12-7. So, something that Coach Ramsey really talked about last week was when you see a team having momentum going in their way, one of the best things you can do is take a timeout. What it tends to do is get the server out of rhythm. It almost worked like clockwork last week, so hopefully that tactic works here for the Vikings as Coach Snyder takes the timeout as he sees his team down 5. And really, it's been a really good battle between the two teams. We've had excellent play. Some little errors here and there, but you see both teams really battling well as the Cheney Cardinals come in here tonight 9-2, facing off your 14-6 Smoky Valley Vikings. We've got Cheney now, so we're finished up here in the third set against Cheney. The girls will come back here at 7 o'clock to face Hoisington. They have faced Hoisington this season earlier in the year in the opening weekend where they fell to the Hoisington Cardinals in 3 sets. Hoisington is also, they are number 3 in the league at 13-4. Hedstrom with a beautiful serve, but a great job by Blanchett to save that one. And Bittner will go ahead and attack, but Hazelwood pops it over the top. Bittner with another attack. Tip to the net, then Peters handles it. Avery with the attack, but just got that one in the net. Not successful there for the Vikings. It's to be expected to see the Cardinals continuously battle and show some dominance as they are the number 6 ranked team in the state, but you love to see the fight that the Vikings are putting. Blocked at the net by Hazelwood. Bittner with another attempt. That one just kind of falls in the wrong spot for the Vikings, as several of them between Hazelwood, Allsett, and Scott tried to get the ball in the right position for the Vikings, but it does fall in favor of the Cardinals as they lead it 14-7. Momentum surely in their favor. Duncan on the pass to Hazelwood. She'll pop it over to the top. Nice save there by Inslee. Pass from Peters over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Scott with a soft attack over the top. Inslee will go ahead and set up McCormick, and that one is wide right. Great job by the Vikings to communicate with each other. You kind of saw they might want to go after that one, but McCormick left it a little too strong and right. All right, so we have Tinley Scott, the senior, 5'8". Beautiful play from her tonight. She gets the serve and a really nice drop there, but saved by Adolph. Mid at the net is, and that one falls underneath. Great play again. This one, Kat looks like she's giving all the credit to Avery, so we're going to go ahead and say Avery got the block there. So great job by both Avery and Kat, just being stone walls at the net. Beautiful serve here by Tinley, and they're going to go ahead and set up Bittner. She's had the hot hand here tonight, really one that they want to get involved. They're going to set up Allset. This one's a little long in favor of the Cardinals. So, again, I like to see the aggressiveness out of Avery tonight. You know, this is really the first time she's kind of seemed to look like herself again. She's just having a little bit of tough time getting them to drop. Pass here from Peters. Hazel would try a little trickery there, but handled well by the Cardinals. Bittner with the kill. She has had her way tonight on those kills. She's finding the gaps and just cranking it down. Smashing that one, making it difficult for the Vikings to set up a return. Peters on the pass here to Hazelwood. She'll push it, and a beautiful play out of the senior captain, Adrian Hazelwood. It looked like the Cardinals were expecting her to set up a teammate, but Adrian saw the open gap in the far corner, pushed it there, and it fell. She loves that little push. And this serve is unsuccessful. She's regularly a very good server on the season. Hazelwood is a 91% serve rate. And again, Adrian is a top, let's see, she is second in the state in assists at 442. So she does a great job. And there's a kill attempt there. Attack, and a kill is good for the Vikings as they get another point here. Friesen will check into the game for Allstet. Friesen will be the server. Nice drop there. Handled by Bittner. They're going to go ahead and set up Bittner again. She gets the soft attack. Handled well by Hazelwood. Scott will set up Duncan. She'll swing in a beautiful attack out of Hope Duncan. The defense kind of started reading her feet. They expected a cross-court attack, but then looks like Hope Duncan kind of pulled the string, got a side rotation to the ball, and it dropped in favor of the Vikings. Friesen on the serve here. Bittner on the handle. And they're going to go ahead and set up Bittner, though. Really working hard to get Bittner going again, but Blanchett had other plans, and she gets another block at the net as the Vikings chip away at this lead. Now down just 17-13. They've been in this position before. Just in the last set, they were down 15-11 and found their way just down 1. Let's see if they can capitalize on the momentum. Blocked at the net, tip. Friesen with an excellent effort. However, that one just goes back over to the Cardinals, but on the wrong side of the antenna as the Cardinals grab that point. And this will be Bittner, who has had just a well of a night. Really good volleyball player there for the Cardinals. Great serve, but handled well by Friesen. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. Hustle play out of Bittner. Hedstrom with the attack, but handled by Scott. Hazelwood will set up Duncan, who swings, but man, that one just didn't seem like she could get on top of the ball. Kind of seemed like she got more so underneath and sailed it long. And that'll be the point for the Cardinals. All right, we have a 19-13 lead for the Cardinals as they lead it here in the third set. That pass from Scott. Wow, what a shot from Blanchett, but handled well by Bittner. Scott, the pass to Hazelwood, shows it up Duncan. Blocked at the net, but a great play, great heads-up play by Friesen, the young sophomore. Hedstrom with the attack, but it's no good because guess who? That's right, Kat Blanchett. She has not made it easy for the Cardinals here tonight. Several blocks. I don't have an official stat sheet for you, but I tell you what, Blanchett is continuously filling up the block stats. And that is block on the attack. And that'll fall for the Vikings. Okay, we have, again, just a heck of a matchup between two state-ranked teams, number 6 Cheney and number 8 Smoky Valley. Blanchett on the serve. They're going to go ahead and set up. Oh, nice block by Tinley Scott. She's had a very good time at the net here tonight. That was Scott again. Walkup, the coach from the Cardinals, is challenging that, but they're going to continue play here. Wow, what a play there by number 11, Erica Block, who's also had a really good night at the net. She was able to get on top of that ball and just pound it down. Walkup likes to see that. And the libero, a captain for the Cardinals, number 0, Jalen Adolph with a serve, handled by our libero, Keely Friesen. Duncan with a nice attack, but handled well by the libero Adolph. And we are seeing some really good volleyball. I understand that the spread right now is 6 points. However, this is some really good volleyball out of 2 state-level teams. Timeout for the Vikings as they are down 21-15. Coach Snyder rallies his team together, getting into a huddle, finding anything he can to get his girls their confidence back up. And you see a word of advice from Coach Anderson. Again, the Vikings are coached by Doug Schneider, the head coach, and then assisted by Nicole Biegard and Kelsey Anderson. The Cardinals are coached by Sarah Walkup and then assisted by Megan Pipkin and Kara Moorhead. This is 2 very good teams here tonight. The visiting Cheney Cardinals at a record of 9-2 on the year, facing off against your hometown Smoky Valley Vikings, as they are the number 8 ranked team in the state at 14-6. We've got a 1-1 here as the Vikings took the first set. Then the Cardinals return the favor on the second set. We're going to have Adolph here on the serve. She's been very good, very steady tonight. Friesen on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Scott. Met at the net, and it looks like McCormick. And this one's a little bit of tough to handle, but well played by Hazelwood. Oh, and just a tough spot. And Hope said right away, that's my fault. But it was a tough spot. She can't take too much. It was just kind of an unfortunate drop, as we're kind of seeing the Cardinals take firm control on this one. And an ace! That looks like an ace out of number 0, Jalen Adolph, the libero and captain for the Cardinals. She's had a very good night, very steady, done all the right things here so far. Got the ace there. Blanchett takes this one. Hazelwood will set up Peterson. She goes on the attack, but handled by Bittner. They're going to go ahead and set up McCormick. Tipped at the net by Scott. Hazelwood will set up Duncan. She'll swing, but a beautiful block. However, it falls in favor of the Vikings. We'll see if we can put a furious rally here. Down 7. Peters up to serve. Here it comes. All right, handled by Adolph. They're going to go ahead and set up Bittner, who's had the hot hand. Wow, what a tough play. Bittner has done really nice on the offensive side of things on the attack several times, has gotten the better half of the ball and found the gaps in the Viking defense. And now we have game point. Again, this is a big-time matchup between number 6 and number 8, and number 6 leading it 24-16. Hazelwood will set up Duncan. She'll swing, but met at the net by 3, Hedstrom. Hazelwood will set up Duncan, and a nice play. It was tipped at the net and fell on the Cardinals side. So Vikings take that. We'll see if we can get a rally here out of the girls. And Hope Duncan gets the call from Coach Schneider. And Duncan with the serve, handled by Bittner. Looks like they're going to set up Hedstrom. And that one, wow, what a play there by Hedstrom. Great setup. And that one falls in the Viking defense, right on the line. It was a tough call for Coach Doak, but I think it was the right call. It definitely looked like it was inside the line. Tough play for the Vikings to fall on that one. And that's the final in this heavyweight matchup between two state-ranked level teams. We've got number 6, Cheney Cardinals, winning this one in the third set as they take it 25-17. And with that, we will be back here at about 7 o'clock. I'll do a little bit more of a review, but we'll be back here at 7 o'clock for the Vikings matchup against the Hoisington Cardinals, who they have seen already once this season, losing early in the opening weekend in 3 sets. I think the keys came down to just some missed opportunities from the Vikings. You know, they had plenty of opportunities in terms of serves that didn't go their way, kind of dropped. Serves weren't perfect, and I've said this before, but they are a very good serving team with a rate of 90%, just around, I believe, 92%. So they've been pretty good. Just tonight didn't go their way. When it comes to serving, you would expect that to be a focus as they go into their next matchup. Now, going on to the court, we'll see the Cheney Cardinals face off against the Hoisington Cardinals. Right now, in terms of league standings, Halstead is number 1 for the CKL. And Halstead number 1 at 18-1. The one loss, I will say, is by the way of the Smoky Valley Vikings. They took them in just the second game of the season. The Vikings winning it in 3. So big-time matchups for the girls. And number 2, Hillsboro in the league. They're 13-3. They're also number 1 in state for 2A. Number 3, the Hoisington Cardinals, who the girls will see in the 7 o'clock matchup. They're 13-4. Again, Smoky Valley being number 4 in the league at 14-6. Hessen at number 5, 8-5. Pratt, number 6 in league at 11-7. Number 7, Nickerson at 8-9. In 8th in the league, Lions at 4-10-2. Larned, number 9 in the league, 2-9-4. And then at the bottom of our league standings, the CKL standings, is Haven at 1-16. So far, when we look at this strength of schedule for the Vikings, while, yes, it's tough to drop that one, I think the girls, there are many plays that they would like to have back. I think it's still promising to see that you can go toe-to-toe with a team like Cheney, who's number 6 in the state, and a team that's very well respected. They've got a great program. Coach Walkup does a great job getting those girls ready to go and really do a great job battling. The girls for the Smoky Valley Vikings had opportunities, and you know this is a great learning moment for them as they saw what they're capable of, but just weren't able to get the job done here tonight, falling to the Cheney Cardinals in 3. Again, we'll be back here at about 7 for a little bit 10 till 7 for the matchup against the visiting Hoisington Cardinals and your Smoky Valley Vikings. So until then, you can enjoy the matchup between the Hoisington Cardinals and the Cheney Cardinals for the matchup of who the better Cardinals are. We'll see you soon.
just to be clear, we're going to keep this live stream on for all 3 matches. So we'll have Cheney and Hoisington coming up here next. Hoisington's warming up right now, and if you want to check out the JV live streams, go to live.smokyvalley.org, and you can tune into the JV game while you're waiting for this one to start up.
here once.
Hurry, I got it.
You got
I
it?
got it. Thank you. Yeah, it was right there.
I'm not trying to wreck your engine.
What's that?
I'm not trying to wreck your engine.
No, it's okay. I tell you, one time we were playing Cheney, my wife was sitting there. She grabbed it and threw the whole thing down and threw everything away.
Okay, I feel better now.
See, you're okay. He meant to sit down.
I meant to do that.
Very nice.
You all right?
I'm fine.
He did well. See,
Good. Okay, it's awkward. We'll need to get this cleared up a little bit.
it's hard to get out.
It is. Yeah.
I get my seat followed.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Smoky Valley High School for the second game of the evening versus the visiting Hoisington Cardinals as they face off against your hometown Smoky Valley Vikings. In the first action of today, the visiting Cheney Cardinals, ranked number 8 in 3A, beat the Smoky Valley Vikings in 3. And then just finishing up, we had the Cheney Cardinals also beating the Hoisington Cardinals in 2. The winner of the Daniel Boone Green Mountain Grill. It's a 23-piece grill with also 80-pound of pellets. The winner would be Adam Krug, a teacher here at the high school. The proceeds went towards buying the pink jerseys that the ladies are sporting tonight. It was drawn by Rylan Biegert. I didn't get the name of the ticket for who sold the ticket to Mr. Krug, but again, that is the winner of the Daniel Boone Green Mountain Grill. 23-piece set with 80 pellets. So congratulations to Adam Krug. All right, in our third and final contest here tonight, again, the Hoisington Cardinals facing off against the Smoky Valley Vikings. The Cardinals now come in 13-5 as they had just dropped the previous match to the Cheney Cardinals. Vikings come in at 14-7. We've got number 3 and number 4 in the CKL. Hoisington at number 3 in the league, and at 13-4, and then Smoky Valley at 4 at 14-6. Now 14-7. As I mentioned before, Smoky Valley number 8 in 3A. The Hoisington Cardinals are not ranked in 3A. However, they have had a very impressive start to this season. They were the first team to give the Smoky Valley Vikings a loss on the season as they met back in August 26 together in the opening season tournament, where the Cardinals took that in 3 games. Expected starters here tonight for the Smoky Valley Vikings. A senior, number 10, Tinley Scott, sitting at 5'8". Number 12, right side hitter, a senior, Brianne Peters, sitting at 5'8". The setter, number 20, a senior, Adrian Hazelwood, sitting at 5'8". She is number 2 in the state of Kansas, at least in 3A, in assists. And that's before today's stats, so she's added a few stats since then, but she is number 2 in the state with 442 assists. Also in the starting lineup, a junior, middle, number 25, Kat Blanchett. She's a 6-footer. She's also, in terms of blocks, number 5 in the state with 45, and again, she'll definitely have more to add to her resume after tonight's performance. Outside hitter, senior, number 27, Avery Alstead, standing at 5'8". She has 32 kills on the season in ace and 33 digs with a 92% serve percentage. Number 30, an outside hitter, a senior, Hope Duncan, standing at 5'7". She is number 7 in the state of Kansas with 196 kills. We'll add more to that tonight as she has played exceptionally well this season. And rounding out the starting lineup at libero, the sophomore, the youngest member of this varsity group for the Vikings, number 33, Keely Friesen, sitting at 5'6". She has a 91% serve rate as well as 80 digs on the season. The Vikings fell on the first match they had today against the very tough Cheney Cardinals, and it was really a battle between 2 heavyweight titles. Both teams having a chance to play in the state tournament last season, as it was the 3rd straight for the Vikings. In 2022, they finished with an overall record of 32-11 with a state tournament appearance in 2021 with a record of 41-4. They finished 5th in state. And then in 2020, with a record of 34-4, they had the state runner-up. So there's experience here for the Vikings. They will face off against the Hoisington Cardinals, who has a good balance of experience in youth. We had a chance to watch the previous matchup with the Cardinals of both Cheney and Hoisington. And really who stood out for the Cardinals of Hoisington would be the freshman, number 18, Sophia Simic. I imagine we'll be hearing her name called a lot tonight. She is a 5'11" freshman, and what I'm telling you, she can absolutely bring it. She will hammer the ball down, as Hoisington spent much of their time on offense trying to set her up. They are also led by number 0, Gabrielle Reef, a 5'6" junior. Shellamay Farmer, number 7, a 5'5" senior. Jordan Boxberger, number 9, a 5'7" senior. Ellie Crawford, number 14, a 5'10" junior. Number 16, Kylie Hahn, a 5'10" senior. Number 17, Kinley Wilkins, 5'10" freshman. And again, number 18, Sophia Simic, 5'11" freshman, who is a standout in the performance in the previous match. Number 20, Mallory Mooney, a 5'10" senior. Number 25, Kelsey Mayer, a 5'10" sophomore. And number 27, rounding out the lineup for the Cardinals, Molly Steiner, a 5'5" senior. So again, there's a good mix for the Cardinals of experience in youth, as they have some firepower coming from those freshmen of Wilkins and Simic. But a great balance coming from the experience of Boxberger, Farmer, and Reeve. We're looking for a great matchup here tonight versus the Hoisington Cardinals and the Smoky Valley Vikings, as they continue to solidify themselves as possible state appearances. We are midway through the season here in 2023, and we've got some great volleyball ahead of us to finish out the night. After tonight, the Vikings will face off against Larned and Haven, and then as they move into the month of October, they will have some more very, very impressive teams to have to face. They'll go up against one of the top teams in all of 3A, which is Halstead, the lone loss for the Halstead Dragons, coming by the way of the Smoky Valley Vikings. They will also have to face off once against Hessen, who's always a tough matchup, and they'll see familiar foes of southeast of Saline, Haven, as well as Nickerson. Some of the new competition they'll see left on their schedule, Chapman, which will be the last game of the regular season. They'll also face off against Central Plays on October 15th and Ellsworth on October 5th. So excited to see what the Vikings can bring, as we've got a nice cheering section here in the crowd tonight. The students definitely brought it. It looks like they're in some cowboy gear, a lot of cowboy hats and cowboy boots. Love to see that. Great crowd here tonight as we round out what's been a really fun evening of volleyball. We'll start here in moments. Again, as the visiting Hoisington Cardinals face off against your Smoky Valley Vikings. Girls will run through this impressive line of students coming out here to support their team. We also see some of the youngsters, the future stars of the Smoky Valley Vikings, here in attendance tonight. Great to see them and have them here as well. The Vikings are coached by Doug Schneider and assisted by Nicole Biegert and Kelsey Anderson. Coaches for the Hoisington Cardinals, head coach Michaela Riedel, assisted by Tony Lutters and Christy Bumgart. So we are just seconds away from getting off to a great start here in our third and final match of tonight. Looks like Hazelwood will start us off with the serve. At libero for the Cardinals will be number 0, Reef. Reef is a 5'6" junior, and here's Hazelwood with a serve. Reef on the pass. It's got a little bit of away from her. Bree was there for some extra security at the net, but didn't need it. And we've got the first point on the board for the Vikings. Hazelwood will serve again. She has an excellent serve rate at 91% and 15 aces on the season. Beautiful serve. Oh, just a little long. The girls are trying to make the case that it was touched by Reef. And they win the case. The line judge went ahead and gave it to them. Touched by Reef, the libero. And so the Vikings get another point on the board. Another beautiful serve right here by Hazelwood. Passed by Simic. And this one set up to Boxberger, but blocked to the net by Blanchett. They'll set up Boxberger again, and she punches it right over the top. And it falls down to the ground. Point for the Cardinals. Boxberger, who is a 5'7" senior leader for the Cardinals. She'll serve it here. Received by Tinley. She'll pass it over to Peters. She'll set up Blanchett. It got just a little bit off. Didn't seem like she quite hit the right part of the ball that she wanted. She's smiling it off, though. Love to see that. She kind of knew right away it just wasn't the right hit on the ball. Boxberger with another serve. Received by Scott. Hazelwood will set up Peters. She'll swing. Nice save there by Reef. And they'll set up Simic. She wasn't quite ready for it. And they're going to call in the net. I didn't catch the number there. It looks like that'd be on Kat Blanchett. Just kind of crossed the bottom line. So, point for the Cardinals. They take a 3-2 lead. Boxberger with another serve. Received by Tinley Scott. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. Still swing, and a beautiful crush by Kat Blanchett. She played extraordinarily well, especially on the defensive side at the net in their first matchup against Cheney tonight. The Vikings lost the first game, or the first matchup, versus the Cardinals in 3. And a nice diving effort there out of number 7 for the Cardinals. Hazelwood does a little bit of trick shot right over the top. And Cardinals will get it over, but a free play here for the Vikings. Duncan will swing, but a little wide. No good. Point for the Cardinals as they kind of start to catch into a rhythm. And this will be number 25 for the Cardinals checking in. And that is Kelsey Mayer, a 5'10" sophomore. Hazelwood on the pass over to Duncan. She'll swing, and a really nice pass from Boxberger. They'll set up Simic, their stud of a freshman, and she delivers with a nice kill shot. And another point for the Cardinals. And this will be Crawford on the serve. Cardinals lead it 5-3. Getting some side-out chance. Scott on the diving reception there. And Blanchett will swing, but she's met at the net there by number 16, Hahn, who got the better half of that ball and delivers the block. She got just enough of it for it to land out of bounds on the Viking side. Excuse me, it was tipped by the Vikings and landed in. A nice diving attempt there from Scott. Hope on the soft attack over the top. And this will be Simic, but met at the net by Blanchett. Again, she is just dominating at the net. Blanchett will swing. And a failed block attempt. That one looked like number 16, Hahn, didn't get the right part of the ball, and it fell just to her left. Blanchett's got a nice smile on her face. She's feeling good after that one. Again, just doing some great things at the net. She'll have the serve here, received by Boxberger. Hahn will set up Simic. Simic will go for the crush, and did she ever. Man, she hit that right on the line. Great call there from Lauren Doak, one of the line judges. It was a tough call, but man, that is a great hit there from Simic. And this one will be Hahn on the serve. Nice drop right over the top. Received by Friesen. Hazelwood will set up Hazelwood. Hazelwood gets another touch on it as it was blocked at the net. Hope will just push it over. This one will be set up for Simic. She drops it over the top, but nice pass in there from Hazelwood over to, Blanchett to Hazelwood. She'll try to set up Duncan, unsuccessful. Simic will just hit it over. Free play here for the Vikings. Duncan will pass. Hazelwood tries to set up Scott, but blocked the net by number 20, Mooney. And Simic doesn't have a great play on this one, so again, Vikings didn't use that one. They're going to set up. This one's Mooney. She tries to push it, and it looked like it was going a little long. And a tough judgment call there for Blanchett as she kind of pushes it the wrong way. And now the Cardinals take a 4-point lead, up 8-4. And this one is Hahn on the serve. Received by Blanchett. Hazelwood will pass it over to Peters. She's going to swing. A nice job by Peters getting the better half of that. It looked like Simic, the freshman, was set up to block it, but Peters hit the right putter of the hand for Simic, and it falls in favor of the Vikings. Peters will be the server. Nice drop right over the top. Reef will be the on the reception there. Moody's going to swing, and that's long, and that'll be 2 in a row for the Vikings as they try to take some command into this game, down 2 now. And this momentum swinging in favor of the Vikings. And Peters on the serve. Nice drop. Reef will get a little piece of it. They're going to go ahead and set up Simic, the stud freshman, but a beautiful job from Kat Blanchett to handle that, as Simic can absolutely bring it, and met at the net by Scott and Hazelwood on the double block. Great hustle play out of Keely Friesen, as Blanchett got enough of that for Friesen to get there in a hurry, and Hope will just push it over. Simic, but she's blocked by Hazelwood and Scott. Excellent job by those two seniors leading the way, playing some tough defense. Hope will swing, but man, what a job at the net by number 20, Mooney, and also there to join her for the double block, number 25, Kelsey Mayer, the 5'10" sophomore. Both teams battling well here. Great volleyball. Glad that you're joining us here tonight in Lindsborg, Kansas. Hope will swing, and man, did she deliver. Boxberger did not get a good hand on that, and that one goes off of Boxberger in favor of the Vikings. Number 27, the senior, Avery Allsett, will check in. Hope Duncan will go ahead and get the call from Coach Schneider, and she'll be our server. Simic on the pass. They're going to set up Boxberger, but met at the net. A double block there out of Scott and Hazelwood. I'm not sure who got the better half of that ball, but really those two are playing great job. It looks like Tinley Scott got the better part of that ball. Really good defense out of those two here as they're really stepping up for the Vikings defensively. Duncan on the serve, Reef on the pass. They're going to set up, looks like, Mayer. And excellent block. Man, I will tell you, there is little the Cardinals can do to get by the duo of Hazelwood and Scott. Looks like I think Scott got the better half of that, but that's at least 3 times now in this first set that both Hazelwood and Scott met up together for a double block. They're going to set up Boxberger here. This time she does get it over. Wow, what a play from... And that's a tough call. It looks like it went on the right side of the antenna. So as great as that play was, great hustle out of the Vikings. They did everything they could to keep that alive. The line judge had to make the difficult call. And it's a point for the Cardinals. Here on the reception is Blanchett. What a beautiful play. Oh my. Hazelwood with an absolute 20/20 vision as she sees the gap in the defense and delivers an absolute punch there. The Cardinals defense was just a little bit out of position, and Hazelwood saw it and attacked it. Wow, what a serve there from Tinley Scott. Really gave the Cardinals a little bit of trouble there. Here's a free play for the Vikings. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett. She'll tip it right over the top. Yeah, they're going to call it double hit. Awesome job there. Really, the Vikings are starting to come alive here as now they take a 1-point lead. What has been a really tough battle against two very quality teams. A little bit of cleanup duty. And Scott on the serve. She's had an awesome night so far, both offensively and defensively. And we're going to see Mooney. That's a tough play. It just Tinley just looked like she mistimed it a little bit. Mooney put it right in the hip pocket, and Tinley had a tough time adjusting to it. But with this score tied at 11, it seems like the Vikings are starting to gel well. Hope on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Blanchett. She'll swing, and it's met at the net. Vikings get the point off a tip as it falls in their favor. Cardinals tried to time that one up, but great job out of Hazelwood getting enough of their hands for it to fall in their favor. And they're going to set up Boxberger. A bad setup there by number 7. She just couldn't get the right placing there. Farmer had a tough time with that. Farmer's a 5'5" senior, so there's a collection of seniors and juniors here in this Cardinals lineup. But they are also really got star power out of that freshman Simic. Hazelwood on serve here as they lead at 13-11. They're going to set up. That's number 16, Hahn, and it drops right over Hazelwood. It was a tough play there. Hope tried to dive for it. It just was out of reach for Hazelwood and just in between Hazelwood and Duncan. Boxberger on the serve. You can hear Coach Snyder really encouraging his team to get fired up. Hope will call it. She'll send it over. Free play here for the Cardinals. They're going to set up Simic, and man, can she absolutely deliver a strike. She got that one on the just by the sideline. That was a beautiful hit. You can't hit it much better than that. She has some absolute force on that ball, and she's doing a great job of getting on top of it. And we've got a 13-13 ball game. Scott with a pass, and it's Hazelwood who tries to dump it over the top. Simic's going to be set up again, and yep, that one's out. Tough call, but we like the call. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. Simic tried to hit that sideline, and Hope really did a great job of making sure that it was going to be inbounds. Friesen here on the serve. It's just a little long. We haven't seen the serving issues that we saw in the first matchup against Cheney. It kind of seemed like we were not very efficient when it came to serving. That was the first time we've had an error on these serves here. So that will be number 14, Crawford, on the serve. They're going to set up Blanchett. She has a nice shot. The attack is no good. Simic will just push it over. Friesen on the pass to Hazelwood. She's going to set up Duncan. She will swing, and she crushes it. Boxberger had no chance on that one. It just came in too hot. You're talking about a fastball right down Broadway. Beautiful hit there, but another setup by Hazelwood, the old trusty setter for the Vikings. And that one's long. That one was attempted by Hahn. She didn't get down on the ball, kind of stayed level with it and shot it wide left. And so the point will go to the Vikings as they take a 2-point lead. Blanchett on the serve here. And Boxberger kind of jumped up on her as she slid for that one. Hazelwood on the pass to Peters. She's going to set up Duncan. She will attack. That was a little funky. It kind of hung on the net a little bit. Peters with a touch over the top. And this one's giving the Cardinals all types of troubles. Friesen on the pass over to Hazelwood. She's going to set up Duncan. She'll swing, and boom! Great hit from Hope Duncan as she drills that one down into the teeth of the Cardinal defense. Great setup there, which all started by the great pass from Friesen. Again, Hazelwood, one of the best assist leaders in the entire state of Kansas. And what an ace from the junior. Number 25, Kat Blanchett with an ace. And timeout Cardinals as they can feel the momentum shifting in favor of the Vikings with a 4-point lead here, 18-14 in the first set. Earlier tonight, in the very first matchup tonight, we had the Cheney Cardinals facing off our hometown Smoky Valley Vikings. The Cheney Cardinals did win in 3. The first set the Vikings took 25-22. The second set, Cardinals responded with a 25-21, and then they solidified it with a third set of 25-17. It was a great matchup. Again, I've mentioned it several times. Those two were two state-ranked teams. So you look at it, either team, it couldn't hurt them too much in rankings. You know, the Cheney Cardinals being 6th, Vikings being 8th coming into tonight. Hoisington not ranked, but they are ahead in terms of placing in the CKL. Cardinals number 3 in the Central Kansas lead. This Vikings number 4. Blanchett on the serve. Great reception there by Boxberger. They're going to set up Simic. And it looked like Tinley nearly got a tip. What a shot. Beautiful setup for Hope Duncan, and she absolutely delivered. I'll tell you, I don't know if you could have put that ball any better than what Hazelwood just did. She gave everything Hope needed to crush that ball down to the ground. Blanchett on a little trick shot. Her serve hit the top of the net and was giving the Cardinals Crawford a little bit of a trouble. And then Hope will just kind of tap this one over the top. A bad angle in the setup attempt. That was number 25, the sophomore, Kelsey Mayer. She tried to, but the angle was just not right, and the attack is unsuccessful, and the Vikings start to pull away here, up 6. Now we get back to the service issues. There's another long serve from the Vikings. We had some troubles with that in the very first game against the Cheney Cardinals, but Cardinals also struggled. Here is number 16, Hahn on the serve. Pass from Duncan over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Scott. She'll touches it right over the top. Float like a butterfly, but sting just a little bit softly too. Beautiful play there by Scott. She didn't have to hammer that one home. She trusted that the Cardinals' timing was off and just touched it right over the top. But she did float up in the air forever. And here is, oh, what a play there. What a hit. That one is the senior, 5'10" senior, Mallory Mooney. She saw that opening right there on the sideline as the Vikings defense didn't shift in a great spot, and she hit it right on the line. Tough call. Blanchett on the pass. Hazelwood will have to hustle over, but a beautiful play and just a little long for Peters. It just seemed like the offense never got into a rhythm there. Hazelwood really had to work to get that one. A little too strong from Peters. Peters is a 3-time state champion, so she's definitely strong in the weight room. A little bit of trouble there from Blanchett on the pass to Hazelwood, but she'll work. A soft touch over the top by Scott. They're going to set up Boxberger here, but a beautiful pass from Blanchett, and I like the attempt out of Hazelwood. Here's a play for the Vikings. Hazelwood will set up Duncan, and it's met at the net by, that was Hahn, and Tinley's going to try that touch again over the top. Boxberger set up here. Another great job by Kat. However, they weren't able to use that one. Hazelwood's going to try to push it out. It looked like it was going out. Reef had a bad judgment call on it, and then Simic couldn't get a hold of it, and that falls down on the ground in favor of the Vikings. And we've got number 27, the senior Avery Allstead, checking into the game. She'll replace Keely Freeze on libero. Keely, again, this youngest kid on this lineup, the sophomore, but she has not played like a sophomore. She looks very experienced and poised out there. Boxberger will swing, and it's a bad spot there for the Viking defense. Duncan tried to get a piece of that, was unsuccessful, and it'll go long. We've got a beautiful, beautiful evening here. Right now it's 77 degrees outside, and it's nice and comfortable here inside the high school gymnasium. We've even got our superintendent in the house tonight. It's great to see him. A really good crowd. I even see Mr. Elliott and Mrs. Elliott. Good to see them in attendance. Scott on the attack here. Reef will go ahead and pass that over. Boxberger tried to use the setup, and Hazelwood's blocked at the net. Hazelwood will go ahead and send it over. Simic will then pass it to, and they're going to set up, that would be Boxberger. Tinley on the attack. Simic on the pass up to, and that's Crawford. Boxberger will swing, but it met at the net. Double block there by Scott and Hazelwood, who have been a tremendous duo tonight at the net. Duncan on the pass over to Hazelwood. Tinley again tries that little drop over the top, but I think the Cardinals starting to figure that out. Hazelwood will try the push to the corner. She goes opposite, and that one, Boxberger got just enough of it for it to kind of just drop over the net. It kind of followed the top of the net and then dropped in favor of the Cardinals. Great diving attempt for Avery Allstead, trying to get a piece of that. I like what I see from the Vikings. They're not giving the Cardinals anything easy, but you also see the Cardinals not going down without a fight. Scott trying to get that nice little touch over the top, and this time they call a lift. The top judge called a lift on the Cardinal defense. And we're going to have a substitution here. That's number 7, Shellamay Farmer, the 5'5" senior. And we have Tinley Scott here on the serve. The Vikings lead at 23-19. And that one's wide left. Again, some of those serving issues kind of playing a factor here tonight for the Vikings. Reeve, the libero for the Cardinals, will serve here. Duncan on the pass up to Hazelwood. She'll set up Blanchett, who kind of seemed to just fly through the air. Simic will just pass it over. Allstead will get that ball to Hazelwood, who sets up Blanchett. And Simic just couldn't get a hold of that, and that ball goes wide into the crowd. Great job by Blanchett. It was the last one that was to touch it was Farmer, as she kind of just pushed it wide into the crowd. And we're going to have a timeout, Cardinals, as they see their moment or this window of opportunity to come back into it, closing quickly as the Vikings lead at 24-20 in this first set. First set here, 24-20. Vikings lead it. We've had some excellent play. I think right now the plays of the game are coming from the blocking duo of Adrian Hazelwood and Tinley Scott. They have just been let me just say this. They've been monstrous at the net. Okay, they've been monumental in their blocks of taking away any easy shots for the Cardinals. And it's not necessarily an unusual sight to see those two at the net, but it's good how often they've been there and just making it very difficult for this Cardinals defense. You see a lot of times Blanchett will be at the net to get the block, and she is the leader in blocks for this team. But it's great to see that duo of Scott and Hazelwood going to work. Scott on the pass to Hazelwood. She'll set up Avery. She'll swing and delivers! Avery Allstead with the finishing shot down the far sideline. And the Vikings take the first set 25-20 off the stellar performance from this group of seniors. We kind of saw all of them come to life today in many different ways, but love seeing the work that Hazelwood and Scott had at the net. They were just an absolute force at the net, giving nothing easy to the Cardinals, who have a very bright player, a bright spot in their lineup with Simic, who's a great player and somebody that really likes to swing hard. But we'll be back here in the second set as the Vikings take the first one 25-20. All right, we're back here for the second set between the visiting Hoisington Cardinals and the hometown Smoky Valley Vikings. The Vikings taking the first set 25-20 off of stellar performance from Adrian Hazelwood and Tinley Scott. Also in on the action, playing exceptionally well tonight, Kat Blanchett, the junior, who is, again, number 5 in the state of Kansas in blocks with, before tonight, she had 45. Scott on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Blanchett. She'll swing, but met at the net by number 16, Hahn, who's had some really nice plays here tonight at the net and swinging on offense. And this will be Boxberger on the serve for the Cardinals. Scott on the pass. Hazelwood will try to set up. Blanchett, she won't swing. She'll just push it over. Cardinals a little bit off rhythm. But wow, what a shot from Simic. A little bit of miscommunication from the Viking defense. And that will fall in favor of the Cardinals. Boxberger on the serve as they lead it 2-0. Hazelwood will try to set up Peters, and she'll just push it over. Yeah, they're going to set up Simic. And that one, the Vikings tipped, and it just fell. So I don't know if that was going to be actually in play. But, again, the Vikings tipped it at the net, falling in favor of the Cardinals. They lead it here 3-0. And this will be Boxberger on the serve. And that's an ace for Boxberger. It looked like Peters and Duncan just had a little bit of miscommunication. Neither one of them called it, and that one will fall right away, and that'll be an ace for Boxberger, who's going to serve yet again as the Cardinals lead it. And there's another ace from Boxberger. She is on fire right now. The Viking defense struggling just a little bit, trying to figure out this communication. You see them right now talking to each other. Hey, we got this. We just got to talk. Peters on the pass. She'll set it up with Hazelwood, who will set up Blanchett. She'll punch it right over the top. Scott on the pass to Hazelwood. She'll push it to Hope Duncan. Hope will try to push it to the corner, and she's good with it. Tough call out of Lauren Doak, our sideline judge. We appreciate the sideline judges. I got a chance to work with Lauren Doak as a coach, and she is phenomenal to work with. She is now the rec coordinator in the city of Lynchburg. She is doing great work. And that was a tough call for her. It was right on the line. Great push from Hope. And that looks like it was number 14, Crawford, with the swing and delivers. A little too hot to handle for Scott. Excuse me, that was Hazelwood. A little too tough. A little bit outside to her right. Had a hard time adjusting it. Crawford with the serve. Friesen will call it. Looks like Simic tried to get it at the net. Blanchett will just hit it over. Free play here for the Cardinals. They're going to set up, that's number 16, Hahn, who gets the better piece of that. And right now, the Viking defense just not in rhythm. Communication's just not there. They're not getting a piece of the ball. They're not moving the feet as well as they were in the previous set. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett, who finds the open. Beautiful touch right over the top and to the left of the defense where there's nobody there. Completely vacant. And so now Vikings hopefully getting a rhythm. Offense hasn't really had a chance to go to work. Blanchett with a beautiful serve. Pass from Boxberger. She'll get it to Crawford. Simic will just have to push it over. Hazelwood will set up Duck, and she's going to swing. It's met at the net, but falls in favor of the Vikings. She's had a number of really nice swings here tonight and can absolutely crank that ball down, and it's tough for the defenses to be able to return. Here's Blanchett on the serve. Wow, Simic couldn't get that one. She just mistimed it. Again, that was an absolute heat-seeking missile of a serve from Blanchett. The 6-foot junior who has a lot of experience through Travel League volleyball and has also been a great starter since her sophomore year. Hazelwood will go ahead and set up Tinley Scott, who pushes it right over the top. She found the donut hole, as Coach Ramsey would say. She found that hole right in the middle of the defense, and Scott's really working to force that back row to come up, or the top row, or excuse me, the front row to come back, and it's giving them all types of fits. Crawford will go ahead and set up Son. Met at the net. Double block there by Duncan and Scott. Scott will just push this over. Not much rhythm here. Simic doesn't really swing there. Hope will swing, and she hits. Great job out of Hope Duncan. Really didn't seem like anybody was going to get into a rhythm in that sequence. And then Hope said, you know what? I'll take it. Call her own number. And the shot worked. Simic on the pass up to Crawford. Crawford will set her up. And that one's too long for the freshman Simic. All right, a game of momentum again. It's been up and down here for the Vikings, but now they have a tied ball game at 7 apiece. Boxberger will come up. They're going to set up Hahn, but she had difficulty with the angle. Hazelwood will set up, and it falls for Hope Duncan. Beautiful setup from Hazelwood. Hope Duncan had to adjust just a little bit, but timing was there. The defense was not. Blanchett on the serve. Oh, and it looked like it was gonna, at one point, just scrape over the top of the net, but then it just had a little bit of a mean drop. And so the Cardinals will take it. And this is Hahn on the serve. Friesen on the pass over to Hazelwood, who has to hustle. Peters on the attack, and it drops. Beautiful play out of the senior, number 12, Bree Peters. Peters on the serve. Crawford will set up, and a little bit of an awkward exchange there. And the floor judge points at the antenna. Peters on the serve. Reef will then, on the reception side of that, they'll set up Simic. Not successful. Men at the net with Scott and Hazelwood. Again, the dynamic duo of Hazelwood and Scott, nearly unbeatable at the net in a beautiful setup from number 20, Adrian Hazelwood, to number 10, Tinley Scott. And it looks like a timeout from the Cardinals as they feel this one slipping away as the Vikings continue to take control, up 11-8. So far we've seen in this matchup really good net play out of Hazelwood and Scott, who have been a force not to be reckoned with. We've also seen really good play out of the freshman from the Cardinals, Simic. She hasn't had a chance to really get going in the second set, but she can be an absolute force, especially when she has an opportunity to swing in rhythm. Vikings took the first set, 25-20. They're looking to really control this one here and put it away early and not have to go to a game of three. Remember, the first matchup they had with the Hoisington Cardinals, that was back in August, opening weekend. It went to three. The Cardinals ended up coming out on top. Peters on the serve. Reef on the pass up to Crawford. They'll set up Hahn, and man, did she get on top of that ball. Beautiful play there by the Cardinals. Tell you, that really was the first time they had some rhythm into their offense, and it was a nice setup and a nice hit. Simic on the serve. Blanchard on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Duncan. Timing wasn't right. Met at the net. And it looked like that was number 20, Mooney, who spoiled the attack of the Viking offense. And here's Simic on the serve. Blanchard on the pass over to Hazelwood. She'll set up Duncan. A little bit of awkward timing there. Crawford will set up Mooney, and she got a shot. If I'll say, it hit just the corner of their tough play there for the Viking defense. As momentum swinging in favor of the Cardinals as they tie it at 11. Then there's a serve into the net from the freshman Simic. Number 27, Avery Allsett, will check into the game for the Vikings. She replaced number 33, Keely Friesen. On the serve for the Vikes, senior Hope Duncan, as they lead it 12-11. Reef on the pass over to Crawford. She'll set up Boxberger, but again, that dynamic duo of Hazelwood and Scott prevail. Hazelwood will try to touch it over the top. Not good. Beautiful hustle there from Hazelwood. She is not going down without a fight, but a really nice shot there. That was number 25, Mayer. A little bit of miscommunication. Tough ball there. Falls in favor of the Cardinals. Mayer on the serve. Handled by Blanchett. She'll get it up to Hazelwood, who will set up Scott, who again trying to find that right over the top of the defense. Boxberger will push it over to Allsted. Hazelwood will set up Scott, and again she delivers on the line. Tough play from Scott as she finds the opening and doing a really good job of just pushing it over the top of that front row, making it difficult for the back row to come up. She's really challenging the defense of the Cardinals, and I like to see it. Really experienced play here from the Vikings, led by 5 seniors. Scott on the serve. Reef on the pass over to Farmer. She'll try to set up Hahn. Excuse me, that was Mooney, who did drop it over the net. A little bit of mistiming there at the net from Allsted and Blanchett. Duncan on the pass to Hazelwood. She'll set up Blanchett, who swings hard. And it'll go over, but out of bounds in favor of the Vikings. They take the lead 14-13 here in the second set. Vikings took the first one 25-20. Farmer will set up. That looks like Boxberger, who does a great job getting on top of that ball. She timed it perfectly. Great footwork. Really good setup out of Farmer. It looked like everything was in sync there. Checking back into the game for the Cardinals, number 18, Simic. We've got a tied ball game, 14 apiece. Boxberg on the serve. She'll go after Scott, who handles it well. Hazelwood will set up Blanchett, who just touches it over the top. Handled by Farmer. They're going to set up Simic. Great job by Scott just getting a piece of that, allowing it to go up. All set on the attack, and she got it. Great job by Avery. It looked like she was met at the net by number 14, Crawford. Nah, that might have been 16, Hahn. And falls down to the ground. Friesen on the serve. A little long. Oh, and a great shot there. Ace for the sophomore, number 33, Keely Friesen. Again, Coach Doak has had many tough calls over there, but I think she's doing a great job. That one in favor of the Vikings. They lead at 16-14. Boxberger on the pass to Farmer. She'll set up Simic, who swings in just a bad spot for Friesen as she kind of got caught in a tough situation. Again, Simic, that stud of a freshman, looks like she's honestly very experienced for a freshman. She really hasn't made a ton of mistakes that you would often see a freshman make, so got to give a lot of credit to her. Friesen on the pass to Hazelwood. Blanchett will swing. It crushes it into the teeth of the defense. It looks like the Cardinals are timing up the hits just fine, but the Vikings are finding out how to hit that ball off the hands and in their favor. Crawford will set up Boxberger, who's coming from the back. Duncan will go ahead and attack a back row attack. Simic try to punch that over the top. Simic will get on top of this one, and it just kind of floated just enough for her to get all of that one and drop it down. Hahn on the serve. Vikings lead at 17-16. Getting some good encouragement out of the crowd here. Duncan on the attack, but what a block there by number 20, Mallory Mooney. Mooney is a 5'10" senior and has some really good moments here tonight so far as she's continuously helping her team battle here. Oh, what a serve. And the line judge is going to call that one out. Tough call there again. There's been a number of calls right on the line, off the line, just very difficult ones to make, but we appreciate all the work these line judges are putting in. And Simic will swing, but met at the net there in a double block attempt from Duncan and Scott, but tipped by them, and then it'll land out of bounds. So 18-18. As the Cardinals did not like that last call, you wonder if that put a little bit of fire into them. Simic with a serve. Peters will handle it. Hazelwood will set up Scott. She, again, tries that little touch over the top. Boxberger will swing. Tipped at the net. Blanchett handles it. Duncan will swing. And the block is unsuccessful for the Cardinals. Both Mayer and Mooney were at the net. And it just fell perfectly for the Vikings as they now lead at 19-18. They're sporting their really nice new pink uniforms. Hazelwood will set up all set. She'll swing, and again. Right now, the Vikings are just finding out how to get that block figured out at a 20 and 25. So both Hahn and Crawford find themselves, Mooney and Mayer find themselves at the net. And now that is at least the third time the Vikings find a way to hit the right part of the hand and it to fall in their favor. They're not successful on those blocks, and it's kind of starting to pay dividends for the Vikings. Cardinals take a timeout as they are down 18-20 here in the second set. Vikings took the first one 25-20 in a really good battle between two of the top teams in the CKL. Again, the Vikings sporting their new pink uniforms. And it was paid by the raffle for the Daniel Boone Green Mountain Grill, who, again, the winner of that, Adam Krug. Congratulations to you. And the Cardinals go on the attack there. Mayer got on top of that ball The Vikings didn't reset their defense. They didn't get scrambled right. And that'll give the Cardinals a point, a little bit more momentum going in their favor. Mayer on the serve. Handled by Peters. Hazelwood will set up Scott and she'll swing. But a good job by Crawford getting that one. Oh, we've got a dispute here. So the Vikings are saying that it hit the antenna, which by my view, I would agree with that. But the floor judge did not consider the antenna there, and they're going off of a tip. They believe that the last person to touch it was Hazelwood, and it fell on the side of the Vikings. So this could be a big judgment based on the momentum of this game, where the game's at. Again, the Vikings leading at just 20-19. It's been tightly contested. You'd kind of expect the Vikings to be able to put away the Cardinals, but they have not backed down whatsoever. As I've said before, they have a good balance of experience, but they've also got the youth star power in Simic, and we're seeing that tonight. Boxberger has also done a great job leading. And the officials go ahead and, after a moment of discussion, they'll give it to the Vikings. They agree that it did hit the antenna. And after a lot of tough calls tonight, both going against and in favor of the Vikings, this one probably the most important one of the night. It goes in our favor. And a beautiful serve here from Scott, received by Reef. In the net of the Cardinals. I think they called it on number 7. That would be Farmer. So really 2 back-to-back important plays as the Vikings look to pull away here up 22-19. What a beautiful hit there out of Mooney, but wide right. And no tip, so it'll give the Vikings another point as they continue to make their way to 25. Excellent. Wow, what a beautiful serve out of Tinley Scott. She kind of pulled the rope on that one. The Cardinals thought it was going to go a little bit longer, but man, she pulled that rope and it just came out underneath the defense. Scott with another beautiful serve here. It's the Vikings on a game point, leading at 24-19. Excellent save there by Hope Duncan. Avery Allstott will swing. Tip there at the net. Mooney will go ahead and try to... Oh! And Adrian Hazelwood puts the nail in the coffin with a beautiful hammer down. And that'll be the end of tonight's contest. The Vikings take it 25-19 in 2 sets. First set winning 25-20. Excellent volleyball out of these two top half of the CKL standings. Again, Smoky came in here at number 4 in the CKL at 14-16. They will leave tonight at 15-7. The Cardinals, they dropped 2 tonight. However, although they are third, and now they will drop to 13-6. You have to give them a lot of credit. They really did battle well against 2 state-ranked teams. Cheney, the first set up tonight, beating the Smoky Valley Vikings. Cheney's number 6 in 3A at 9-2. They walk out of here now 11-2. The Vikings at number 8 in 3A. They walk out of here again 15-7. Cardinals, number 3 in the league now. They're going to drop. So I'd imagine Smoky Valley is going to move up in league play, in the CKL, to number 3. At the top of the league, Halstead 18-1. Smoky Valley giving their one sole loss of the season. Hillsboro at number 2 at 13-3. They are number 1 in 2A. So there are a lot of state-ranked teams here in this league and a lot of excellent play from the Vikings tonight. They dropped the first one to Cheney, but then they come back and deliver a strong performance here against the Hoisington Cardinals. And this is a big win for the Vikings because in the first matchup earlier in the season, the Vikings lost in 3. So you can see the improvement the Vikings have made. Compliments to the coaching staff, Doug Schneider, Kelsey Anderson, Nicole Beeger. You see all of that work they've been putting off starting to pay dividends. We'll be right back here in a moment. All right, as we wrap things up here tonight, again, the Vikings winning in this third and final matchup against the Hoisington Cardinals. It was an awesome night there from our seniors, Hazelwood, Scott, Allstead, Duncan. Don't think I've missed any yet. And then also we had a really good play out of Katia Blanchett, who is number 5 in the state of Kansas, at least in 3A when it comes to blocks. She had 45 coming into tonight. I'm going to assume she's well above that. She had a handful of blocks. Play of the day, I'll tell you what, there were a lot of difficult calls out of the line judges. It was a tough night for them. They really had to earn their money tonight. But I would say play of the day, tough. It really is. But towards the end there, we saw a great setup going to Hope Duncan. She delivered it down the strike. So there's a lot of great plays there from tonight. But I would say one of those setups to Hope Duncan towards the end, where she kind of delivered an absolute shot down the line, made it difficult for the Cardinals to receive. I don't have any stats for you here tonight, but we will be in action again for the Vikings volleyball. I have the next date. Let's see what is today. I have the next date, the 26th. And there'll be action against Larned. We'll also have senior night coming up. We have one more home contest for the Vikings, which will honor the seniors, which we have 5 of them. And that would be Tinley Scott, Bree Peters, Adrian Hazelwood, Avery Allstead, and Hope Duncan. Wonderful job from the ladies. I hope all of you enjoyed our live stream. We appreciate you tuning in to us. Appreciate all the work Mike Rose does to make this one of the best live streams in the entire state of Kansas. And another last final great job to the Vikings as they walk out of here 1-1, and really a tough night for them, but a great night for them as we saw some great volleyball and awesome representation of what this school and community is. With that, we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
So you got, that's not plugged in. That must just be, you unplug it. Just hook it up to the switch. Yep. This one's out there. What are you doing? Just like this slide. Let's do just got this done. That makes sense, because I was like, this would take this route is what. Okay. Sure. Okay. Cool. Probably top in the States, Mr. Rose.
Pretty awesome.
All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Visit live.smokeyvalley.org for more live stream links. I know we've got a busy week this week with, let's see, we've got middle school volleyball on Thursday, and then and as well as a high school band concert. We'll be streaming both of those events. And then on Friday, we host Andale for football. So hopefully you can all tune in and join us, cheer on those Vikings as we have a lot going on this week. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and shut it down so I can get cleaned up. Have a good one.